It looks like it's on, but nothing is showing up yet.
Okay, I think so now. Yep, alright, we're good now. Alright, welcome everybody to another Streams of Spero. I am your Dungeon Master Benito. Right on my lovely cast all around. We have Matt, Jacob, Jeremy, Glenn, Lee Wanika, and my brother Rico. Jennifer will not be joining us she's in our process of moving at the moment, so Russell will be a little idle at the moment. But she is obviously around with all of her NPC friends. If you guys remember last, we had another round of combat at Fang's Port where our heroes combated another round of adversaries, and they looked like they were designed to try to clear some of your friends that you seem to have. And in the end, you might have lost, I think you would have lost Rexar, and Cole was a near brink, but Zindred played a little game and was able to sweet talk her way into the arena and save our Rexar's life from the White Court. And that seemed to have spoiled some of the plans of the arena masters, and we'll see how things of that develop. At the moment, too, Oleski went off to also enjoy some time viewing, as he has done in the past, and he's in a very special place there doing those things. And everyone else, more or less, has returned. So, you guys will be leaving the arena with a saved Rexar. The rest of the group is fine as well. Cole a little beat up, but more or less no worse from where. And you guys will kind of start to talk. Remember, the only one who's not will be here with you will be Oleski. And I think there was some talks to plan. You guys will know your next contest is with Zenexaria, the Drow swordsman who has the envy sin of silk. And you guys
So
will
we
know
are
that.
aware of his envy sin.
Yes. You guys were all told who has what and what
Yeah,
they have. That's why you were hunting
that's
them.
like, yeah, okay. Hmm.
And Lewinicki, you can make your plea for what you wanted to Zindred at the moment as well.
Ladies Indrid, in the coming fights, something has come to my attention. My ability to defend myself while accurate may be tested greatly against our next threat. There is a device, an item known as a type of shield that would allow me to utilize its abilities um, while keeping my hands free, so I can operate two weapons and have this shield. If there is a way you could help me procure such an item, it would allow me to use the best of my knowledge and use of shields in addition to my weapons skills.
That sounds fantastic, HK, if we can actually obtain one. I mean, we can run any request that we have by Hartmore's lackey. It's going to, and for an item as rare as that, it's going to be a matter of if there's one available nearby. And I suspect, particularly after my little ruse to save Rexar, that they're not going, they're going to find it unavailable. But I will ask.
Certainly. This animated shield is would be helpful to our cause.
I will relay that to. I do not remember Hartmore's lackey's name.
You don't have anyone near you right now. You guys are it's just you guys. So
Right,
you
right.
can have
I don't remember the name of the person assigned to us. Is all I meant. And I thought I had it written down, but that notebook has gone walkabout.
See, I have also written it down. pull up some notes on this one. That was not printed out. All right, so you're going to find him in a second, anyways. What would you guys just head back to your dorm, more or less, your barracks?
Zindert probably doesn't remember his name anyway,
It's very true.
so she probably didn't care enough. Beyond this is Hartmore's lackey who's going to do our bidding. So she'll simply find him, and
He'll probably come around like the next day. You guys don't fight back to back, so
okay,
you'd have a little bit of time before you actually need to hunt him down, anyways.
fair enough.
Or he'll come to you. I mean, that's pretty much his job.
But Zindert has absolutely no faith that they have any actual intention to truly help us beyond enough to keep us placated. So him disappearing for long periods of time, she would suspect. She's kind of looking for it. If he doesn't appear, that's okay. She doesn't like hunt him down, but she's watching for him to find him if she can.
All right. Anyone else? So we go to the barracks. You guys pretty much chill. All of you are here.
This next task is going to be a tough one. I think we need to game plan.
I think I may have some help in this regard. And leaning into my connection with Bringer of Law and with Lawbringer, I am asking them, and as I typically do, I talk to them out loud, and people just think it's weird. Have either of you fought Zin before, or been present when he has been dealt with? Are there any characteristics or strategies that he is known for that might be of use for us?
Oh yes, we have seen him before. He is legendary. He is a killer. He's the best swordsman Alanis has ever known.
What are his typical strategies? How can we array ourselves against him?
You must overwhelm him. One-on-one combat is not for the wise. If you were Elven, you might have a better chance. You'd be quicker.
So speed will be of the essence.
Yes, he's fast. Very fast.
Just
So-
turn Elven.
So HK will HK hearing that and thinking on that, he will simply say his speed is going to be his greatest weapon against us, but it's against overwhelming numbers that we can turn that advantage. If at least a number of us are fast and a number of us can attack simultaneously, it could greatly diminish his ability to deal with us. Basically, we would have the opportunity to keep him surrounded versus him attacking at will.
If
So
I were
we have-
allowed in the arena, I could help increase your speed.
Then did you also know that the way Hartmore spoke to you before, as a reminder, she wasn't going to allow anybody else in. Like, she was trying to
Right.
kill off everybody prior up to this fight, but the
Yeah.
design was just this time for Jew and HK to fight.
I was about to say, if they limit the
Right.
numbers of who goes in, that's overwhelming him is going to be difficult.
And that is what that is what I meant as HK was speaking, that we don't even know what numbers we'll have in order to figure out which of these numbers would be fast and which would not. That seemed like a lot of numbers, and I do not think they're going to allow that, my friend.
What about the opportunity to make us faster? Firebrand, in the past, you've used your ability to make us hasty.
That is exactly what I was offering as well.
That would certainly help.
I can't do it when I'm not in the arena with you because it only lasts a minute.
A minute. So unless the fight began immediately,
Yeah.
if we're not in there.
And even if it did, I doubt a warrior of this caliber could be taken down within a minute's time. So we could potentially weaken him with a quick flurry.
So in that case, what I guess I would suggest is, Firebrand, if you're not going to be in the arena with us, we take the chance. Some of our fights have begun almost instantly. Others have taken time. There's no way for us to know which this will be. But as long as the battle is on, as soon as he's there, Jew and I can immediately press the attack. Give them no time for discussion. This is the one fight that it's not about building a crowd. This is the fight that it's about ending the threat and taking care of the job.
Well said.
You also know there's a flaw with the haste spell. Or Zindra too. You have it. Either
What
way,
do we
read the description? You might want to think about the preparation to it.
What do we know about this fighter and why he was given the envy sin? Does anybody know the history of how that came about?
Oh. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Though if
Because
the fight
if he's
lasts... I apologize to you. Continue.
I would say because if he's considered the best swordsman in Alanis, how does envy play in? Who is he envious of? There's got to be someone greater than him if there's still envy within him.
Unless what he envies is not at swordplay and it's at some other thing.
And that could be the key to beating him, is
Your sword
beating
says in
him
your mind,
not
respect.
with the sword.
Did you hear that, HK?
I did
What was
not.
that?
Your sword, Lawbringer, says respect.
Zindred, you were going to say something?
Our plan to speed you up, it does only last a minute, and at the end, you spend a few seconds able to do absolutely nothing.
You lose a turn.
Yeah, we can't afford that.
I'm guessing Jew didn't pull up the spell, so I'm just gonna tell Rico.
The ability to attack twice as much for a minute versus one
turn.
moment
Yeah.
one moment of inaction. While that can be exceptionally dangerous, that moment of inaction might be worth that trade-off.
In-game
That is
mechanics,
true. You are not paralyzed.
Stun. That's worse. It is the stun condition, which means any attack on you will be done at advantage.
Yeah.
And then
It doesn't list the stunned condition. It simply says cannot move or take actions. So
until after the next
Unless
round.
they change it, because I was pretty sure
On D&D, I'm looking at it on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, I remember being seen in many game sessions, and it was the stun condition that they said they got.
Not according to D&D Beyond.
Maybe they changed it. Let me look.
well, that is up to you. I wasn't trying to be argumentative.
Yeah, no.
You had me read the spell.
It is important.
That's probably why we weren't seeing what you wanted us to see.
I honestly,
I still
for
thought it was
me,
bad, but
I think it's bad, but for me, that's a trade-off worth doing. You and I with double attacks
Upside.
for a full minute, that's a lot of attacks. That's a lot of damage.
Potentially, but I mean, a full minute, that's basically just a single round for both of us, right?
10
No,
rounds.
No.
10 rounds.
Oh,
That's-
10 rounds.
That's 10 rounds of you and I getting an extra
It's a
attack.
boxing match.
I already get 3. That gives me 10 rounds of 4 attacks, not including my Alpha Strike, which will give me another 2 attacks.
Don't you have action surge as well?
That's what I mean by my action surge, which will give me an additional 2 attacks on top of that. So that's one is going to have 6 attacks from me in one round. whichever round I choose to utilize that. You've got 2 attacks, if I remember correctly. So that's 3 attacks from you, and we do that for 10 rounds.
Actually, I'd be at 4 attack. If I go reckless, I would be 3, and then the +1 from the spell.
Yeah. So
I'd be potentially going 4 attacks.
To
+1
lose
from the spell is a full action. So if you make 2 actions around, during that action, you make 2 attacks.
Yeah. Yeah, like right now I get 3 attacks in a round. So if I get the extra action, does that's another 3? That gives me 6 attacks?
Correct.
You can also use it. This guy's thing is speed. You can also use it to dash if he's trying to get away from all you guys.
Yeah.
You can use that extra action as a dash as well.
We can close distance, make sure we end in his square. So if he tries to leave, it is attacks of opportunity time galore. Obviously, there can be. He guarantee he has mobility, so that would be very limited.
Okay.
But like I'm saying, the amount of attacks we get for a full minute for 10 rounds,
Right.
is
Use action surge. You get 9.
that is an exceptionally large amount of attacks versus 2 attacks at the end of that time where we get housed up. Chances are we're going to get hit anyway, so we're not. That seems to me worth the trade. Our biggest challenge is if it takes longer than a minute to get this thing started, then we start stunned. That would suck.
Not stunned, just standing still
or,
for
or
one
standing
round.
still.
I did reread.
Right.
Well,
The player's handbook is right. It doesn't have anything worrying.
Yeah. So, I mean, essentially, the risk is if it starts late, we start getting housed before we get off our regular attacks.
so if he comes, or if it starts late, or if he comes in with minions, and we have to wade through the minions before we get to him.
We've yet to have a battle go greater than more than
With
10
this-
rounds.
With as great as his skill is supposed to be, and I'm sure his pride as well, should he bring minions, mock him.
Oh, make him angry. Great.
Indeed.
Ooh, that's not a bad plan.
So
We come with 2 and you come with many. Clearly, you have no faith in your skill.
Mm-hmm. Get
I would
get under his skin, HK, if you can.
HK,
I would
remember,
res-
you
I-
did witness him, and he didn't have minions. He didn't have anybody with him.
Yeah.
He fought outnumbered last time.
I think he is going to face you alone, but should he?
Should he? Right. Like I'm saying, I think it's worth the risk, but Jew, we both have to understand the risk.
who else is going to go with Jew and HK?
Well, you need
I-
to see Hartmore for that. You
Yeah.
have no
I
idea.
don't think
right.
she's going to allow anyone else to go, but we will find out.
Just as in case of emergency break glass option, she has it was a ring, right, that she uses
She
to
does.
cast into that I figured out last time.
Mhm.
I have that feather of hers. If need be, I could maybe offer a trade to try to cast magic in there if you guys are not looking good.
Or perhaps, since none of us will be allowed in, were Cole less obvious, he might have the opportunity to pickpocket that ring. Should we make him invisible or something along those lines?
This is her domain, so to speak.
If he gets caught,
I would be
Yeah.
cautious with I would be cautious with assuming she won't have means to determine these things.
Certainly, but we did say break glass in case of emergency, though I'm not entirely
Yeah.
certain what that means. It seems like
I'm not the.
it's a last-ditch effort.
I'm not the best at stealing things. It's never really been my forte.
Oh, the way you talk, I thought you were good at everything.
Oh, I'm sure I could do it. I'm just not the best at it.
The way you talk, I thought you were the best at everything.
Okay, now.
We're not ready to give Cole the sin of envy just yet.
She is smiling. She is very much smiling as she says this, and not completely in like a little bit mockingly, but not quite endearingly. But Cole's growing on her a little bit.
If we went that route and he was able to steal it from her, as soon as I used it, she would be
No.
She'd
Indeed.
probably kill you. Or
she'd be
try.
lurking behind me, like ready to pop my head off.
Well,
So
I don't
I
think she would take
tire
it
of
lightly.
being put in our place.
All right. Well, Zindra,
what else?
would you like
What
to
else
go?
do the swords know of this warrior?
My friends, what can you tell us? What more can you tell us?
Whose respect is he searching for?
Of you.
Of who?
Of
It
us?
would be a lot less disconcerting if we could find a spell to give the swords a voice so that we know he's not just insane.
He wants
There's
my
no
respect?
way. There's no way
Of course.
HK's insane. I'll hear
He's in your
none of that
bloodline.
talk.
He
She said
wants
that with a kind of joking smile because the situation looks so weird.
It's a
HK looks
healthy
terribly
imagination.
terribly puzzled, so his brows are kind of like, huh? So Zin is looking for the respect of the Greystokes.
Yes.
Not me in specific, but me as a Greystoke and the representation of the Greystokes here.
Of you now. You wield us.
Yeah,
You
he'll
are-
recognize
you are
the
now
sword.
counter. That is what we were made for.
To
We were
fight
always
him?
opposed. He was one of the enemies, the many adversaries of Alanis.
How attached to these swords?
So if he's gonna know the swords are sentient and talking to Lee. How much does he know of the swords?
He wants
He knows of
respect.
us.
Is this the final respect? Is he seeking an honorable death at the hands of the Greystokes?
I do not think that. You must talk to those of the faith. I believe they may have more of what he is now.
Who of the faith would I speak with?
Well, you have one of the Raven Queen.
I turn and look to Zindred.
She arcs one eyebrow at you.
I'm told that what he's looking for would be best understood by those of the Raven Queen. That he needs the respect of the Greystokes. But when I asked about is he seeking to die an honorable death by us, they suggested that I speak with you. That there's a deeper mystery or deeper reasoning behind his methods.
Does Zendrid know anything of Zen at all?
You do know that all these champions were brought from Silk's realm, which does lie in the Shadowfell. Remember, the Ravenloft, more or less, is a realm of the a part of the Shadowfell. So these are all
Fair enough.
creations that are parts. So it is
Of
something
her
in your
realm.
divinity that you could learn.
I will
of.
commune with the Raven Queen if she will allow it then and
Sure.
inquire.
Give me a religion check at advantage. So you have to go off and pray. So now Zindred's not in the conversation.
And I say that before I disappear. I don't just stand up and walk away.
Okay.
Let me see if I can reach the Raven Queen and if she will bless us with any information. 25.
In your dreams, the way you basically see now, you do see like a different land. It is mountainous. It is cold. There's only only a southern part that seems to be warm. But there are many kingdoms, great castles that you see that are going from there. You feel the power of the goddess that your Raven Queen has allied herself with. It's sort of a discoverer, like she's scrying and kind of see. And some of these spaces you begin to see start to take shape. Let me pull some of these up. Pull some out, look away from you guys. One of the ones you see is a sort of a knight, black, with a long, beautifully purple cloak. He's well armored, and he holds a blade of red, and there's like these swirly lines that kind of leak through it. Some type of enchantment, feels poisonous to your senses going on. He's in an awful city, but a city that seems that would probably repel your friends is a city that you seem familiar with somehow. It seems calming. You now, as you feel that presence of where he is, there are many of your people, dark elves, amongst the populace. But these knights that this huge individual is a part of, that seems to have a commanding structure, are all part of this allegiance together that seems to serve. And you see a great pyramid in the center of this city, and you feel that there's some type of trinity to a group of individuals that lead. But your people are very prevalent in its beliefs, its support, its protection, and its design. Then you see a man you are familiar with. Again, it seems like it crosses more into the center of the island, down with the river, going to the bay. A magnificent, beautiful city. It is gleaming. There is much of the elements of the buildings that are possessed in gold. The towers are tall. The place is clean. There are many humans, elves, dwarves, gnomes that make the populace of here. And the knights are all full plate, gold armor, red shields, red cloaks. Almost like a fantasy human kingdom of a story. But there, again, is that very dark platinum armored knight with a long black hair, helmet without a helm. But you recognize him as Azarian Greystoke from Zazu that you have met. He seems to be ruling this city and holds court amongst many of the people there.
Which Greystoke was it?
Azarian, the one you met. You left some of your members.
The big
there.
dog.
Yep.
Yeah. You're pulled away again, and you seem like now you pull back and you're moving forward to the north. This area is similar to Spero. It's cold, many mountainous. It's dark, forbidding, and then you find a place that is definitely disturbing. A kingdom of the dead, a rotting necropolis. It is huge, massive, and thousands and thousands of dead individuals there. And in a black tower, a most beautiful human woman with curly red hair in a purple robe, definitely with the symbol of silk, maintains her wizardry in that area.
And that was, and you said we don't know where that is. It's just
I'm just giving you descriptions, but it said it is a necropolis area. In that same city, not too far, in a temple, again, it seems more or less made for silk, is the woman that you also met, just also prior. A beautiful human woman with long black hair, and that is Mystic, in the armor and robes of her mother, Silk. She seems to be holding courts with beings of the dead and ghosts.
And where is she?
She's also in that necropolis city.
In the necropolis.
You pull away from that city, sailing across the frozen tundra of the north and the sea, the bay, far east, to a very strange land. Armor, culture, designs of buildings you've never seen before. But there, as you kind of slip a little bit to the south of this city, somewhere like in some weird mountain area. It's like a lone mountain in a boneless type desert, skulking in the darkest of shadows, even shadows that would make Drow uncomfortable, is a red-clad individual. He's pretty much decked out as like a ninja would be, moving about in the halls. And then you can see that he has very scaly skin, and he is serving with a court of serpent type of beings that you've never seen before. But you've heard stories of the Auntie, and he seems to be very well much at home with these beings. From there, you kind of like pull out again, and they're walking somewhere amongst the mountaintops is the figure that you have been told about, this dark elf, a weapon master, and he seems to be a loner. He seems to be moving about in a very brooding sense about him. He doesn't look happy, but he looks a man of purpose and dedication, and nothing else seems to stop his path of walk. But he doesn't seem to be attached to anything else, unlike many of the other beings you just witnessed. And then below, and another, as you slip past him and into the mountains themselves, you find a creepy, dirty, ugly, but powerful beholder lurking about in a lair deep underground. You feel that these are all beings that somehow, in some way, gave you lineage, worshipped, or empowered what you do know what they are called dreadlords and beings of the shadow in the Shadowfell. So somehow you know that in the Shadowfell these type of champions infused the realm that created the prison of a dreadlord. And in understanding that, you do realize that that is exactly what Silk is. She is a dreadlord that has risen in so much power that she had become worshipped. And this seems to be where the bubble of that envelope, where she is very similar now with the Raven Queen in the power struggle. She's breaking out where many of the dreadlords are trapped because of their own fear and incapacitations of what the Dread Realm does, to something that is trying to get out, maybe become more like the Raven Queen is, and then indeed enter the mortal realm to be worshipped as the Raven Queen has done in other realms.
Okay.
And that's what you see when you commune.
Well, after taking a little bit to collect myself, Senator will return to her companions and, as vividly as possible, describe each of those scenes. And the revelation that Silk is of Dreadlord breaking free from her realm. And then comment that perhaps Zen's solitude could possibly be a weakness, that other people's companionship and closeness, because he is so alone, is what he envies.
We can use that.
Zidra, why don't you give me a history check? Again, I'm going to give it to it with advantage, because you are of his race.
21.
Awesome. On the basis of envy, you must think in a bit of psychology with male weapon masters. They're often trying to get themselves in a position of rank, but also in a position of freedom and respect. A loner of his caliber must mean there is some type of fallout, there is some type of disconnect, there might be some type of him being lost in some aspect that has put an envy aspect on Zin's demeanor. Because most male Drow War Masters are tools or very, very coveted individuals like your uncle.
So he wants a position.
and maybe something has happened where he didn't have that anymore. Something might have happened in his past where things have just kind of disconnected him from that position, and that could happen very easily in a society of drought, especially one from your older days, what your house is trying to stop. Like, you remember back in the day, if he would have failed, most times it would be death punishment, but exile would be a huge blow to a man of a noble house. Now, you remember, he's not of any houses from where you're from, but if he was from a house from Alanis and he was of a high house, that is a pretty rough blow if that was what he coveted. Like, we're not talking our Wizard of the Coast, Forgotten Realms favorite Drizzt. We're talking about someone who probably very much wanted to be what he is, and he was very good at what he does. So if the swords are saying the Greystokes had something to do with it, the Greystokes might have detached him from a house, and he's stuck with the power of Silk, and she's this Dreadlord. There's a lot of things that could be messing with that him being able to stay where he wanted to be. So that could be where the envy aspect has worked on him, and he's now wandering in this aspect. And if you want to elaborate any more, if you have questions about that, remember, you are an expert in the Dark Elf Society because you are the first house and you're a very high position in the house.
So, Drow Society's changing also, and he's not specifically aware of that, I don't believe.
Your society has.
Yes, our society has. And he's on this world now, though.
Yes, he is now. But he has no houses that or no houses know of him. Like, they could look for him if they knew of him. But
the thought that I've had forming in my brain as you spoke was possibly offering him a place in Drow Society here on this world because of Zendrit's position.
Yes, you could do that. I'm just letting you know he doesn't have any. He might, and whatever happened in Alanis is different houses that have he will not recognize any of your house names.
Right.
So that's where you do have that angle, yes, if that's what he's coveted. But again, you are trying to change your ways, and he could be, if you did take him in, he could end up more liking your rival house's way of living, because that's the old ways, than your new ways. So if you did do it, you better be careful of how you want to go about doing so. And again, he has envy, and that could put him in confrontation with your uncle, because that would be a common threat.
Is there a different way that Zendrid might think of it then?
Well, again, you and your family are changing the way the houses are going to run. But I'm saying normally he would challenge your uncle and kill him, or maybe exile at best, to take his position. There are no society of Dark Elves, Drow, that they have more than one War Master. It is always the eldest son, and the other ones have to find something else to do and claim best at. And if they're not, they are not kept alive, because the females run the majority of the society in the old ways.
So specifically War Master is what he's coveting.
Yes.
Very well. Then I guess the way that Zendrid will translate it is to explain that to HK and Zhu and say, perhaps if the words come from a Greystoke and it is made clear, HK, that our Drow society is changing and breaking free from the old ways that harmed him, if he's willing to share the title of War Master, you could be welcomed in my house and my society here in.
He's not going to be willing to share. Fair. I'll do the lion's share of the talking, I guess.
And it's going to mean more coming from a Greystoke.
And
I was just about to say that because part of the envy and the respect he seeks deals with the Greystoke bloodline, anything that's said in that arena is going to have more weight to it coming from you than it will from me, who he doesn't know anything about me, nor my lineage or lack thereof.
I'm going to ask the swords at this point. Do you know which Greystoke specifically created this loss for Zen? And how did they do so?
They don't quite recall. They weren't that involved with him enough to know that he would fall from certainty, but they do rattle off names like Ashton and Razan III.
Then I will ask him.
But there
Then
was a
I will try to draw that out of him as well. If we can put names to it and make it visceral and real, maybe that will make the difference.
If we can get him to tell his story in true evil boss fashion, you know, when they get going, they like to
Monologue.
let him monologue. Let him tell us the details that we need, and then we fill in the rest. And basically, as we were kind of saying, it's going to be a chess battle.
I've got it. Did you not say at one point in time, Firebrand, that you could create a spell to do something at a specific period of time or under a certain condition?
I don't recall.
Time bomb spell?
Yeah.
Some
Wish.
sort of magical contingency of some kind?
What? When I was talking about if things are going bad?
No. I mean, like, can you have a spell begin at a later time? Or
perhaps if we knew an artificer.
No. Yeah, I can't make anything just happen later on, especially not being there.
Anyone specifically, Glenn?
Hmm?
Anyone specifically?
It doesn't need to be, but Zendra does remember some folk. I assume artificers exist in
Oh
Spero.
yeah. Force that.
Okay.
Force that.
Zendra does remember specifically some folk from her own people who worked the magic and craft of artifice that could create an item that held a spell that anyone could use later. She doesn't know. She doesn't know exactly how it works. She just knows it's possible.
That would come in handy depending on what you're thinking of, HK.
well,
Refreshing date. There we go.
I was thinking that if the spell could be cast but not go off immediately, like cast upon taking damage or whatever. So like however we start the fight, then the moment we take first damage, then all of a sudden we then get our burst of speed. That would be if we could
I don't
time
know.
it like that. But
Yeah, I don't know of any time delayed spells.
I was thinking of the contingency spell, but I don't think HK would know that name if anybody has that spell or not. But
I know nothing of spells.
Firebrand is not known for awaiting spells. He's very instant. I
Yeah.
blow up the room with a fireball spell.
recognized,
That's
Acknowledge.
time.
That's what it was.
acknowledged.
The fact that he was using Wall of Force was just to get me irritated. That's all.
No.
I was loving it. What?
I was
Funnel
loving it
them my
too.
way?
It was
Oh yes.
super creative. I liked it.
More of that,
Oh.
please.
One other thing we might need to talk about before going in there is what we're gonna do with Envy, because I don't know if you guys are on a different plane and that has to go if it has to go to somebody that's right there, which would only leave HK right now, or I'm not HK but Jew right now.
I would accept it. If it's just the two of us that go in.
I don't know if it has to happen with just the people there, or if it can be transferred. Yeah, but I mean, if you have to defeat them and take it, I guess. I don't know how that works.
Well, I
but-
think the hope would be if we can, I mean, if we can talk him into putting his sword down, that would probably go a lot further.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to. It doesn't hurt to plan if he doesn't agree to put his sword down. I think it's something we should explore.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we're more than ready to battle it out to the end. But
Yeah, I'm just saying if somebody has to there right then has to take it, that's you.
understood.
No beating around the bush, it's you.
Alright, would we like to send Zindra to try to get your shield
Understood.
and then find out what your parameters are, or try to set parameters?
Yep. And did we previously get healing potions? Did I remember that correctly?
I think I told you guys before, yes.
Okay. And how many did we have?
I don't recall.
I just want to make sure I'm set up correctly with my inventory.
I thought you guys already put
Oh,
them
yeah.
in.
I got
that was
one.
before the last one. I think I gave mine to you.
Yeah.
And then
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've got it. I have 3 greater potions of healing. Got it.
I was going to say, I think it was 3 each is what the runner came back with when we asked for them last, but I don't specifically recall.
Alright, so Zindrid, are you going to go alone, or are you just taking your Obsidian Raven entourage, or would you like someone in the party to go with you in case there's some negotiating going on?
I'll bring Firebrand.
She's very fond of Cole, you know.
At the moment, the people here consider me the leader, but I am aware that he is the leader of the actual quest. You know, and it's okay for one of my subordinates to lead. So,
Alright. So you and you and Firebrand? Or do you say yes to Obsidian?
anybody else who wants to come, she doesn't feel the need to have an army behind her. She's not in fear of her own safety, and she's frustrated by Heartmore, but not intimidated by her. But she's not intimidated easily, just in general.
Alright.
So bringing Firebrand as the other person who's, you know, kind of helping make these decisions seems appropriate. But
I'll go
somebody
for
else
fun.
might anger her. Well, and now he's volunteered.
She likes Cole.
And Cole is welcome to come as well, because as I said, anybody who wants to come can come.
Alright, Laura will go with you. Rydell will remain behind, just to
Okay.
keep the barracks safe. So I guess HK and Jew, what would you like to do?
I think we're gonna practice.
I might add, or you want, we can send Russell to go find Oleski, because you have not seen him now in the last hour.
Oh,
That's-
yeah.
That's a good plan.
Alright, so Russell T.
Yeah.
will
Send
go
Russell
hunt
to find
for-
him, and then we're gonna
We'll go hunt for
go down to the training room and work on the speed bag,
Okay.
Yep.
so to speak.
Alright. So, Firebrand, Cole, Zindrid, and Laura, you make your way to the Raven Grave. You find the door. You are about to approach. I need you guys to make perception checks.
Okay.
Ooh,
Very nice.
24.
12. Roll the 1.
Oh, okay.
I don't see shit.
23.
It's more what you hear.
In my past, there's 22.
Nice. All right. So the two of you would have heard, as you're about to get on the stairs, a loud crash.
From above or from ground level inside?
From above, like
From
into
above.
her office. Because remember, there's a door, there's a stairs that leads up to a more like a skyboxy type of office. Zindred and Cole have been there plenty of times.
I'm gonna run up.
Zindred, there was a loud bang up there. Something's
So
going
it's
on.
confused as he runs up. What? Okay, and then she follows.
Yeah, Cole just takes off on you. All right, Cole, you get to the door. What are you doing?
Kicking it open.
Roll strength check.
Yeah, I'm awesome at those. Not.
I'm sure she's
16.
either having a fit
That's
or
good.
getting her ass kicked by her boss.
You smash the door open, and pretty much as you kind of get in, the other you guys all start to make your way up because I imagine you were increasing your speed as well. Hartmore is laying in what looks like a destroyed desk.
Is there somebody above her? Or
Nope.
Anybody else in the room?
Nope.
Is she alive?
She looks like she's slightly moving. You want to go up to her?
I'm gonna
Zindred
go
will move forward and heal her.
check her.
I'm gonna close the door.
Oh, okay. All right, you close. Well, it's not closing very well because it's broken now. She just looks and goes, "I am fine," and she's trying to get herself out of the desk. It's pretty difficult.
I'll help her out.
And somehow you all right. So you help her out. She kind of takes a seat at her chair. That's the only thing remaining now of her desk.
I'm gonna
She
mend
goes,
her desk, because why not?
That's
I
going
have
to
a
take a
seat.
while.
Oh, I was going to have a seat across on the chair across from the splinters, and
Okay.
I was going to look at her.
So she just sits. She goes, "Yes. What do you want?"
Our apologies for catching you indisposed. We thought we heard a commotion and thought perhaps you were in danger. Are you all right?
I'll always be right if I'm in your world, Lady Zindred. But your little trick sort of got me a little in trouble with my boss.
I do apologize, but though we came here specifically to play these games, we've been forced to play many more on different levels, and
Yeah,
I have to make my moves to protect my people.
I'm not angry. I was just explaining.
Oh, you're a little angry. It's okay.
You're right.
So I figured
I'm
it would
pissed.
melt.
I know. I would be too.
Would-
I understand
would you want
completely.
shredded?
Let's get back to the point of why are you here again?
To discuss the next fight, of course, and to try to figure out where my runner has gone, because he has not reappeared, and I have more things I need from town.
I'll get you another runner. Yes, you're going to what we agreed. You wanted to fight Zindarexia. You will fight Zindarexia. You will probably murder your fighters, but that's what you wanted.
And further, I'd like to lay down a wager of roughly half of our vast fortune that in this fight, Zen will lay down arms and allow my fighters to leave.
Betting half of your money that the fight that we are going to assign will not be a fight?
Oh, no, it will be quite a fight. But in the end, my fighters will win his respect, and they will all walk away together.
No deal. I expect you to win. It's the design of things. Thought you already knew that, Zindred.
Oh, the design of things so far has definitely not been for us to win. Well,
Yes, it
that's
has.
not entirely accurate. You may have been allowing us to win, but I do not consider arranging to effectively murder my fighters, because that's what you've done, and specifically tried to do. While allowing us to win? I'm not done yet. While allowing us to win?
Zindred. I'm only helping you out. You don't want all these fey lackeys around you. Sorry for your one that is here, but that's what's going on.
And why would that bother me? I have no issue with well, let me rephrase. I have no issue with these Fae. They are clearly my companions, so why would I want them?
Well, it is part of what you are. I do know the Raven Queen has a bit more of a leniency to that factor, but we were just trying to make sure that you're prepared for things to come, of course.
Oh, certainly you've always been on our side the whole time. I appreciate it so much, Hartmore. You are so big-hearted.
That's what they call me. Big-hearted.
Aw.
Who calls you that?
Many that come in this room. My dear boy.
If you're so kind-hearted and trying to help us so much, maybe you could give me that ring that you have.
Ooh, clever wizard. You have been keeping a watch.
Or just give us another one.
We
That's cool,
realized
too.
the trick of your ring quite some time ago, Hardmore.
There are many possibilities here, but these fights are not exactly designed to wipe your party out, Lady Zindred. That's what I'm just trying to tell you. I'm trying to prepare you, give you better friends and better support than, she waves at Cole, than this.
I'm
So
not going to
you only
completely
like
disagree with you.
Sounds like
He's-
you're afraid of me.
he's
That's okay. I
questionable.
respect that.
But please, Hartmore, you are a pawn in this,
I told you
just
I had a
like
boss.
everyone else.
I know. It's what got me my desk ruined, and you've seen me in this array, and I did like this dress.
But I'm fixing your desk. It'll be great. It'll be just as good as new.
Oh,
Small pieces of it are sticking themselves
Yeah,
back
slowly.
together.
well, I guess we'll have a long conversation. But it's not me you're trying to please, Lady Zindred. Your foe is Zerial, not me. She's part of the game. She's a part of the path that you're to take. As soon as you defeat Zin, I doubt we will ever see each other again. Thus shall break my heart. We've had great conversations.
Oh yes, I will miss these little chats.
Now, the fight is designed, HK and Jew, 2-on-1 versus Zin, in a very special arena.
What about 3-on-1?
Is that arena a surprise, or may we understand the environment we'll be fighting in?
I hope they're not wearing too much armor, maybe? That's for fixing my desk.
I mean, you could always try to kill me again if you let me go in.
It is so tempting, Cole. I love it when you do this. Putting you in the arena probably would definitely get you killed, especially
See?
if I tell him to.
Sounds like a great plan to me.
So about that ring, you gonna let me use it?
To alter that fight, I can't.
Oh, can't seems to be a word that doesn't hold quite the same meaning around here.
Indeed.
Maybe if you come after the fight, Firebrand, and we have a little one-on-one, maybe I'll give you the ring after.
Cinder
Not
coughs
my-
uncomfortably.
Not my usual type, but how about you give me the ring first?
You know how the deals work, especially you being Fae touched as well.
The need is more immediate than that, so I guess we don't have a deal.
Oh boy. Okay, well, I'll be here anytime you change your mind.
So were those some of your buddies from the Abyss paying you a visit when we got here?
Yes, my boss paid a visit.
Did she just say his name?
No, she said
No,
boss.
Okay,
she
now
just
she
said
just said
her
boss.
boss.
Gosh, you were turned away from the mic and I
I'm sorry.
didn't quite catch the
I'm
thing
trying
to
to
follow it.
get our components back.
No worries.
She said it was just my boss who visited. She
So
did give you
can't-
one name earlier though. Did you catch that?
And she did say that she couldn't.
She did tell you
She
that
was safe as long as she was here.
Zerial was moving the pieces. I will give you. Do you recognize that name, Glenn?
Zuriel? At first I was looking at my notes and I'm like, that's not a Zurian. So no, I do not.
Okay. I think you are religious enough to know. Cole, you would also as well. Zerial is of the Nine Hells. She is a devil lord that works under Asmodeus.
Oops.
And she's on the
That's
first. And you
poor.
know that she is located at the first layer of hell. She is a fallen celestial that he corrupted.
Okay. Once we are away from Lady Hartmore, Zindert will relay that information to everyone else.
Well, the fight will be in a few days. You'll get your chance to rest, feast, because they had a hard fight, and then we'll be
Fantastic.
farewell, I imagine.
So you're relaying all the information, so
Well,
the
not yet.
suggestion of no armor?
They're still in the office of Hartmore right now.
Yeah, I'm still in the armor, but I will. I'll let you all know the thing about the armor, which I suspect means some form of a watery arena.
Wait,
I don't breathe, but I also don't operate without armor. I am armor.
Right.
So you're gonna be like the old Hulk cartoon when he's walking along the bottom of the ocean.
I do breathe and I need air.
I'll have that runner stop by for you soon.
Today, please.
Yes, Melody.
Yeah.
I don't want my fighters to be without.
I do appreciate your big heart, as we've already discussed. Perhaps you won't ever give me a reason to actually see it. And she gets up to leave.
Okay.
Chance to give me that ring.
You staying?
Going once, going twice,
Are you staying?
going 3 times. No, I'm leaving.
Zinder chuckles as she's heading towards the door.
I'm just walking backwards, like counting down.
She gives you a coy smile, and that's it. Alright, you guys will return back to the barracks, and then you can kind of relay the information, what those guys have worked up their sweat.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Before
talk
you
to
do that,
Zindert.
we're going to go off to Oleski. Oleski, there was an after party. And the individuals that you are with...
Ain't no party like an after party.
Yeah, and they are throwing it big time. There's a lot of drink, a lot of things going around, and I need you to roll a wisdom check at disadvantage, please.
You pick my best stats.
This is your will. And unfortunately you have the lust sin, so this is something you're enjoying. Seven?
I probably don't need to roll at disadvantage because my first roll was a 7.
Yeah, that's
but
pretty
just
much
to make it worse.
Oh yeah, maybe we'll get a natural.
Yeah, good old 1.
Natural one, yes. That's what I needed.
No, not a natural one. Oh no, wait. 3. Sergeant.
Oh, 3.
3.
Okay. You
Yep,
are
2 plus 1.
You are caught up. You lose your date. You are caught up in quite a bit of sexual adventures with a lot of the patrons that are here that were watching the event prior and have gotten deeper into things. Everything is getting a little blurry to you as things are transfolding.
Do I have the wherewithal in my head to maintain my current plan,
And your plan
which is to talk up Lady Hartmore? She's such a great promoter. I'm so happy that we got set up with Lady Hartmore. She provides us with everything we need. I want to keep just dropping my praise of Lady Hartmore throughout the crowd as I'm going around. She sets up the best fights. We've got the greatest deals. And just keep talking up our relationship with her.
Yeah, a lot of women just let you talk right up and play along with it, and you get really sexual in this whole adventure. After about an hour, I'll say a couple hours, you're pretty well exhausted. A very large pit fiend arrives while you are recovering on the bed with your maidens.
Excellent. Maidens, plural.
He goes, good evening, Lasky. I see you've had a good time here.
I believe I've given as good as I've got, but yes.
You have indeed.
I hope the times have been good all around.
Oh, yes. Times are going good. And things are going to get better when we return you to your comrades. We just need to do a few little things, and then you'll be on your way. And as you hear him say that, several large other demonic, devilish beings arrive in the room. Some of them are bony with a scorpion tail, and there's probably like 6 that have very weird beards amongst them, and one who's just wrapped around in like chains are all around him. Prepare the ceremony. And with that, all these devils grab each of your limbs and pin you to the bed so you cannot move. He begins reciting some type of magic.
Do I have enough mental acuity and capacity right now to resist in any way, or?
How would you like to resist?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know. I guess I don't have anything handy. I suppose casting a spell is out of the question.
If it's vocal, you can. But you can't have any components, and you don't have any. You do not have any somatics because your arms are all held.
And I've got a fuzzy head, so I'm really thinking I don't got much to work with here at the moment.
Probably not. And you're talking with what you can discern. You are Asimir. You have a lot of knowledge. This is a pit fiend in front of you. Alone and unarmored, you're pretty at a. You're not just at a disadvantage. You're at a colossal disadvantage at this moment. And he has already a dozen devils in the room with him, so you're also epically now disadvantaged in your current situation if you're looking to fight.
Well, I don't know about fight, but resist, absolutely.
Yeah, or refuse his way.
I suppose in my head, I would be like, Lady Mystic, this would be the perfect time to intervene and prevent me from being able to follow through on my oath to release Silk.
Give me a d20 roll.
Ah, 13.
You're making a plea, but what you're really feeling is you're in his plane of existence. You feel that this being has great power here.
You know, and with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah. He's sharing.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
Your references are futile.
You go through some agonizing pain. Once everything is done, the devils will release you. You kind of get off the bed. You feel that there are writing on your skin, but they don't seem to be visible at this moment. He goes, perfect. Did I just lose him?
It was too scary.
Yeah.
All right. Well, while we wait for him to come back, I will go back to you guys. All right. So Zindred has returned. Cole, Firebrand, you may discuss what happened.
No.
Do I got him back?
Sorry about that. I lost connection right before your monologue.
All right. So basically, he says he's very satisfied with what happened. I told you what you see there. A devil comes and he puts armor on you. You basically now may add adamantium plate to your inventory.
Don't worry, the
I can't even
breastplate
walk
has
with that on.
missiles.
Adamantium hat plate. Hey, look, you got a friend.
Is Matt back? Because I can't see him.
He is back. He
Hear
might,
him.
might have to do a refresh, and then it goes from there.
What'd I miss? Did I miss anything?
Oleski's in trouble.
Do I
Isn't he
feel
over
like
there, though?
do I feel like I could take this plate off at any point?
You don't feel like you want to. You now have 4 spells. You ready to write these down?
Okay.
You will add the True Strike cantrip to your repertoire. Heroism at first level.
Specifically at first level, it doesn't work as a warlock spell.
Correct. Well, it's a first level spell, so how it works from there.
Well, with warlocks, if it becomes a warlock spell, it casts at whatever my highest level is. Or do I only cast it at first level?
And their dinner.
Cast it at first
Full
level.
energy.
Spiritual weapon at the second level spell.
Again, same
Yep.
same restriction, only at second level.
And Crusader's Mantle, which is third.
And
You now also have a new trait called Ferocious Surge. It will recharge
Are we
after a
urged?
short or long rest. When you hit with an attack that isn't a critical hit, you can turn that into a critical hit.
how often can I cast the spells?
As you have your spell slots to those. So if you have first level spell slot, you can use a first level spell slot to cast.
Well, no, I don't have spell slots.
Warlocks have spell
So
slots.
as a warlock, I have 3 spells I can cast, and I cast them at my highest level, 5th level.
Yeah, they're slightly different in that regard. So if they get spells, they're either added to their warlock spells and cast like warlock spells, or they have some other mechanism for determining how many times a day they can cast them, or how many times for long rest or short rest. Because warlocks also get their spells back on short rest, which is very different than warlocks.
Is Lee's video off and audio off for anybody
His
else?
video is off, and his audio, I think you need to
Oh,
check.
there you go.
Sorry. When I refreshed, I didn't realize it started with the video off. My bad.
Yeah,
You're
check
on the
your
wrong
microphone
mic,
source too.
or something else is going on with it too, then.
Oh, my mic source changed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, your current mic is all the way across the room.
Your current mic makes you sound just like HK probably sounds.
Keep it.
Actually, that would be this one.
Oh, no, that would be how Alexi's probably now going to sound.
So I guess Alexi can honestly say he has danced with the devil in the pale moonlight.
Yeah, wow.
I don't think there was any moonlight in this one.
There was some dancing, so to speak.
And some mooning.
Where does he get those wonderful toys?
Oleski? One of those 24-hour bookstores by the highway. For the lust
Am-
thing. That was the only reason.
Am I now considered
Yeah, you just
X
spend
marks the
proficient
spot.
with this armor?
just spend a spell slot, Matt, as a warlock as normal, and then they go off as they are.
So they just get added to my
Yeah,
my
they just
spell
add it
list
to
then.
your spell slot. Let's just go with that. Okay.
Should we have
What's
Matt
your
change his
religious?
name?
What is your religious skill score? What's your bonus on that?
+5.
+5. Why don't you roll that, please?
You're gonna make me roll? You know how
6.
that works out for me.
Well, I just want to see if I'm going to give you information or not give you.
You called it Jake.
6, 6, 6. Okay, so you,
So 6 was 11
you
total.
feel something has happened, but you're not exactly sure what. And with that, your bed kind of, there's an energy around the bed that you're laying in. The maidens you were with kind of wink at you, and their wings grow, and you fall kind of through the bed, and then back in the bed at the barracks with your companions.
It was a mind fuck.
So am I now considered proficient in this adamantine half plate?
Yes.
And you're also a devil. Yeah. Ups and downs.
Ups and downs.
It was at least a devilishly good time.
You did have a devilishly good time.
Yeah. You've caught an abyssal STD. Congratulations.
That would be the best outcome. All right. Well, I think he's in and out of connections. Maybe he's communing with the wrong people. You guys are back together. You now know that there's something to do with dexterity. You are fighting just the two of you, and there will be a runner coming.
I just want to bring something up with Zindred before I forget. That when we got there, Hartmore was getting worked over by her boss's goons.
Correct.
Abyssal goons. She made a comment that she's safe as long as she's here. It seems like that feather of hers that we have just became much more of a big deal since it could be used to summon her and control her. If something like that was to get in the hands of her boss, that would be bad for her. I'm guessing. So it might be worth a little more now.
I think her boss technically already controls her.
Yeah.
It could be a means to threaten her, though.
Well,
If
she
we had
said
the
she's
ability
safe as long as
to-
she's here. So
if
maybe
we had
maybe as long as she stays here, that offers her. It seems to offer her some protection.
Do you have the ability to summon her with this feather?
I think we had said we could,
Yeah.
but it was going to be bad news if we did.
She'll be really unhappy.
And then there, as a, what was that strange expression you used? A break glass in case of an emergency situation. We could still threaten her with the fact that we have the feather, and that we could summon her out of here so she's no longer safe. Whether that means summoning her out into the city, I don't know. I don't know if she means she's safe here inside this arena space, or if she's safe here on our plane instead
I
of.
think she mentioned
from
our
hell.
plane.
Yeah.
There was a way she worded it. I don't remember
She did say
exactly
our
how
plane.
she
You
worded
were
it.
correct.
Yeah. Because that jumped out at me that she said it that way.
I suspect that she's probably from one of the hell dimensions as a servant.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
But it seems like if-
you lord her. She's an Arini, which is a devil.
So she is a devil.
She is a devil.
But it seems like they can't force her back into that realm to take whatever she's got coming.
Could that feather be used to, instead of summoning her, force her from this plane back to her plane of origin?
I don't know. Can it, Ben?
I don't know if somebody in that plane could use it to
Well, she's
summon her with that.
I was
plane.
thinking more of a banishment than a summoning. I don't know enough about how your magic works to know if that's possible.
Well, she's susceptible to any type of banishment spell, which would put her out of the plane. But the feather doesn't do more than. The trick with the feather is because it's an actual item and it gave information on her, is if you put a summoning circle, you can trap her in that. And the circle is what can compel her to give up way more information than summon creatures prefer to do. But it immediately puts it on the radar that you now have this power.
Yeah.
And devils tend to don't like these type of things happening to them, and they get really, really bitter and like revengeful about it. That was why I said it was dangerous. If she doesn't know right now, but once you do it, it could. If you want more of what's going on out of this, it could give you more information, and she would not be able to do much about it. But after, she'll be very. You'll use whatever means necessary to get it, so you don't have that feather anymore.
I mean, could also be just a good bargaining chip in case we have to.
Yep.
Right. But perhaps it's best she never knows we have it, and we instead find somebody who would find value in it. Who knows?
A young man will come about 10 minutes later, and he will introduce himself as Sarek. He's a new guy. He goes, "Milady, I was told by Lady Hotmore that you needed stuff."
Indeed, Paige.
Because it gave you the option to, pair.
Now she'll use his name. She'll forget it immediately afterwards, but she's not rude.
He's not offended. He's used to being treated poorly.
I need an animated shield if there is one available from a shop in town. The cost is no object.
Okay.
And I would like you to go to the best artificer in the city and see if you can purchase 2 stored spell items of haste for me.
Okay.
I bet his name was Paige.
Could be.
Actually, I will need those delivered on the day of the fight.
How's this place with magic items?
Are you asking him something?
Yeah.
It depends if we can get it on the right. I mean, the city is a black market, so it's if we can get it at the time that you need it is more of the problem.
I need a pair of size 9 Air Jesus sandals.
Size 9 Air Jesus.
You should be enhanced with enough magic where I can walk on water.
Who is this Jesus you speak of?
Yeah. Who is Jesus?
Okay.
Jesus.
Definitely no Fae.
Anything
that I
else?
haven't heard of.
Anything else, sirs, my lady?
She looks at the room.
Very well.
It appears that would be all.
Very well. And he bolts up. Okay.
So
within a moment, you guys again. Aleski shows up because he's not in a separate room, so you do know there's 2 people looking for him. But now he's in his bed, and he never walked in. He's just in
why
his
is he
bed.
not on my stream? Hold on.
I'm still at a loss. I can only hear Glenn and Ben.
I just had to refresh because I couldn't see you.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, but now I see Rico.
it's a little
Also-
choppy right now. It seems Oracle board today.
Yeah, if I look over at the YouTube stream and someone's missing, then I know I have to refresh. Alexi, welcome back. Trust you've been
How did you
party
do
hard.
that?
Yes. In fact, so hard that maybe too hard. Well, no such thing as too hard, but
Our friend is hungover.
I may in fact be more than hungover.
He's in beautiful adamantine half-plate armor as well.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
But also,
That's what I was looking
I mean,
for.
like, is this
No.
attached to
You
his
went
skin?
shopping?
No, he is now clothed. The armor is kind of surrounding his regular clothing.
Okay. I had gotten the impression that this was like attached to his chest. Sorry.
Well,
You've
give
upgraded.
me a Arcana check, please, Ingrid.
I was worried about it, considered that same question here, but haven't had that full answer yet.
9.
No. Nope. It's pretty fitting. Like somehow he got well-designed armor. You picked up that.
Ah, I see the page is taking care of you.
Can I do an Arcana check?
Sure, you can. Since you're the wizard.
Where have you been?
Shopping, apparently.
I was at
22.
a viewing party to watch Zin fight.
You are noticing very slightly, because of the flickering of light, glyphs that seem to like on the armor, but they're not visible often to the eye. Like you notice that a lot of people are not seeing it, but they're. What language do you speak?
Is his armor more blingy than my robe?
It is shiny as
Oh.
fuck.
Oh,
It's not blingy.
Envy's
It's
gonna work
shiny.
really well on me.
I speak Common, Dwarvish, Elvish, and
think?
Sylvan.
It's not in a language you know.
Oh, hold on. So when I'm seeing those glyphs going,
I may
can I cast Comprehend Languages?
have
You may.
When I see that there's glyphs that I don't
slept
understand.
with the wrong person.
You may. You now
Yeah.
know that they're abyssal glyphs.
Wait.
Certainly not, Oleski. I can't believe that.
Let me track back a couple of steps though. You said you were at a viewing party watching Zin fight. Our next opponent.
Well,
Drew, let me finish
Yes.
getting the information on the armor first. while Ben's got it.
yes, I
there.
remember that.
I'm going to
Um,
message it to you, Jacob.
Okay.
If Jacob's talking, I can't hear him at all,
Can-
so I might have to
Do I
refresh.
notice what kind of light is making it show, so I can try to
He is.
make that kind of light,
Just
so
fire.
everybody can see it?
Just 1 second, I'll be right back. I hope.
So I want to make it so everybody can see that there are glyphs there. And then I'm gonna cast Comprehend Languages to read them. Try to, at least.
No, I mean, if Mama can drop you off, she can drop you off later.
I'm gonna call it secret code armor.
Adamantine plate of the Dakota ring.
Just, it's Alexi, and with everything he's been doing lately, just don't run a blacklight over him.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta say,
horror show.
3 out of 4 times when somebody says his name, I want to follow it with boogie woogie woogie woogie.
It's a Lesky. Boogie, boogie, boogie. Got it. That's awesome.
So
Is he back yet, by the way?
No, I'm not seeing
I'm
him.
working on it. I can hear Lee,
I can hear you.
Rico, and Glenn.
I can hear you. I can't see you.
Zindra, this the abyssal on this is gonna interest you, since we just heard this name. The glyphs on Oleski's new armor says Knight of Zerial, Titan's champion and father of the 4 obsessions.
Zindra immediately walks forward, places her hand on the breastplate, and casts Remove Curse.
Okay. You feel a resistance of power.
You shoot.
Give me an Arcana check, please, again. And this time advantage because you cast Remove Curse.
21.
This armor is linked to the actual abyssal plane of the first layer in hell. So it is normally you would be able to disenchant, but because it has a direct dimensional link, it is virtually impossible You think you could do it if you did a ritual in the actual layer of hell to have it removed. But I will tell
Certainly.
you don't
She
sense
continues.
you don't
Go ahead.
sense it is doing something malevolent to his body at the moment. Like you don't
I say-
feel it's dark energy. It's not corrupting. It's not agonizing. It seems to be very important to be a link to the hell, but you don't feel it's doing anything to him or his mind. Like it doesn't have that type of power.
Does Zerial have a stake in this? She says this out loud. A stake in this crossing over that we were trying to.
I don't
She's
know.
looking at the armor, puzzled.
He's
That we're trying to assist.
he is Hartmore's boss, so, or she is Hartmore's boss, so.
And Hartmore did say that they were trying to help us in their weird, hellish way, their own weird, hellish way. Perhaps she meant it. And so is
Well, her boss was
one
tuning her
of
up too.
the demons from hell on our side? Question mark.
It hurt. It hurt, but not like torture hurt.
Hurt like John Cougar Mellencamp hurt.
Matt, also the armor didn't hurt. Something else hurt. On
Right.
your body.
The ritual that they did was
Burn.
painful.
The
He
armor
needs
was
his board
secondary.
punched.
Well, I do not have the ability to remove this. Perhaps.
Well, I don't really want you to remove it, I guess. I mean,
Do you hear yourself, Oleski?
very
We've had
foggily.
demons from hell. Bond, sear, burn, runes and armor into your body.
And you're cool with it.
It was a really good time.
I fear what will be left of us when we're done with this quest.
I know by the end of this, I'll be the most noble of the bunch, and that's a scary thought.
That is a scary thought.
I don't know about that.
Is he possessed right now?
Positively frightening.
He is not possessed.
Oh, specifically though, did I feel anything with whatever I got that implied that
Is
it
there-
would or could or is attempting to influence his mind?
Oh, it has.
You feel that this is definitely. I mean, there aren't any ruins that just it's a title. That's what the ruins are showing that Firebrand can see. So there isn't anything that looks or enchantments that you see that are like anything else. There's no eyes that are opening up. It definitely looks like pure adamantite, which looks like it's to stop any like critical damage to happen to him.
Put on your tinfoil hats for a second. I have a weird theory. Maybe.
Mine's been on since I sat down.
Yeah. It does say night ethereal. We've had a lot of dealings with Fey courts and having knights that start to turn them, that change them into a Fey, part of the Fey. Is he becoming a Knight of Hell?
Knight
Is he
of Hell is
becoming
not.
Abyssal?
Knight of Hell is not a title that I personally aspire to.
But, I mean, if he's got this armor now, is there a way to see if he's starting to become Abyssal? Giving off those vibes?
Paladins can detect beings.
Yeah, I'll detect.
You will know that he isn't registering as a fiend, but you are reading energy again to the abyss, and it's also on his skin.
I don't detect that he's changing in any way, but he is definitely tied. Not just with the armor, but also with his physical body. They've done something to his skin.
Could be changing, or it's
Zinra will
Whatever
create
we
a
got.
habit of using divine sense on Oleski every morning from this point forward.
this is your control, and then see if he's
See if
Reading
anything changes
different.
in advance.
Also,
Yeah.
remember you guys are Arcana guys. You haven't detected magic either, so these are also plausible. It's another part of your investigation if you wish to.
I have some familiarity with this phenomenon that you call touched, as I have become both Fey touched and touched by a more darker realm.
Lusky's always trying to be touched.
Oh, that's
HK.
right. Thank you, Lee. HK is registering as both Fae and Fiend.
Oh.
I just register as Faye.
You just register
And-
as Fae.
And
Firebrand
to be
registers as Fae.
and to be fair, anybody who would have checked would have noticed that from the day I got the sin of pride.
I don't think no one's checked since then, though.
Nope, had no idea. Haven't checked. This is brand new information. Zinder's head snaps over to look at you.
And I'll
She doesn't say anything out loud.
Yeah, and again, you don't get that power more from Aleski. That power is more on HK.
But Aleski is giving is giving her the abyssal feel coming off the skin.
Yeah, there's something there. Now, are you casting Detect Magic?
Yeah.
You will now notice in Abyssal there is writing hidden that only you can see.
Oh boy. Hidden where? In his skin?
In his skin as glyphs.
On his junk.
Not his junk, on his arms and body.
Thank God, I don't want to have to get
on his
my
arms,
reading
sorry,
glasses
on.
Pull that to the left.
And this is where we have a sponsor break from Manscaped.
Hashtag ad.
Not a sponsor.
Dr. Squatch or whatever it is.
Doctors. Insert ad here, YouTube.
More accurately, that's how we get demonetized.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, Jen. Jen's gonna jump on.
Oh my god, what?
Well, I couldn't say that in the stream, so I had to type it somewhere.
You can say it on stream.
No, I can't.
Oh my god, what?
You could say perineum.
It's not as much fun.
No, not at all.
Well, in this case, with everything's going on, we'll call it the devil's driveway.
A leaky.
Well, he did get some sort of abyssal STD. It might be a little leaky too.
Leaky.
Damn
I
spell
was
check.
gonna say he's leaking now. He got the drip.
I didn't even think that was spell check. I thought that was on purpose. It sounded right.
No, that was spell check. Does not like Aleski. It changed it on its own.
So he has more glyphs that are on his skin this time.
I knew I was feeling something on his skin.
Yeah. On his left arm it says desire and hunger. And on his right arm it says passion and urge. The energy from these glyphs is kind of feeding into it's connected to the abyss as we like now. There's a connection between the glyphs and the abyss.
He sounds
Well, that-
possessed.
That would make sense based on what you said was on the armor, right? The four. I'm sorry, I'm a little fuzzy. The four somethings on the armor.
O's.
The four obsessions.
Obsessions.
So Zariel is the father of the four obsessions.
And all those seem to be links to lust.
None, yeah.
Almost like they're
Desire,
all little
hunger, passion, and
subcategories.
urge. The 4 stages of lust. Sounds good.
You might need to go to a meeting.
I think he needs more than
I think he's far. I think he's past that.
He needs treatment.
Alright. Would you guys like to do anything with this, or what do you guys think?
I can come up with nothing that we can do except watch him. We can't remove it.
We don't know what the connection is, what it's
But we do know he's connected to this mission and this quest, so it's not like we can simply lock him away.
So that sin seems to be the catalyst to changing him to an more abyssal creature. Pride.
Perhaps as more of us take on sins, we should be mindful of the fact that they
Pride is
opening
turning
us up.
HK fiend. The sins might be more to him than just taking on the characteristics of that sin. Changes who you are on a more.
What if
deeper
everybody
level.
that was tasked to protect you becomes your enemy? That'd be something, huh?
Yeah, that would suck. So
Always
Well,
the
you're
optimist,
lying.
Cole. Always the
So-
optimist.
So I should look to try to. I should
I'm
try to
thinking
look to
ahead.
ditch the distrustful ones first. Cole, you
As
should
we
go
talk
in there
about
and
this,
fight.
looking slightly ahead, this suggestion of us fighting without armor in a water type arena.
We have no idea if it is water. She simply said that hopefully they won't be too heavily armored. Tee-hee.
Oh. Was it HK? Was that you that suggested that it might be a water related?
I did. That was my
you did.
assumption.
Okay.
And my comment was, it matters not. I am what I am.
It matters
Well-
for me though.
It does. And I
My
recognize-
ability to not get touched is hampered if I'm not wearing my armor.
Well, cloak isn't
Yeah.
armor.
Well, I've got scale mail on top of the cloak, but my armor class drops if I.
Oh, I'm aware
I'm not
of what your
wearing
armor
it.
class looks like without armor.
And if I get hit, then the effects of the cloak are negated.
For that round. If he doesn't have any lackeys, he's not gonna.
Aren't you a
What?
barbarian?
You talking about the cloak of displacement?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just for that round. You wear it under your armor? That's intriguing.
Aren't you a
I wear it
barbaric?
over my armor.
Aren't you a
It's-
barbaric individual?
Damn.
Yeah. You gotta
So,
take this thing.
Don't you make it easier for your opponent to hit you anyway?
I could if I get a little carried away in the heat of combat.
And he wants to be able to take that hit.
Yes.
But you're also aware of, because HK saw that Zin has magical weapons, so he doesn't really want to be hit this combat.
Go in fighting as you normally would. Just be prepared for. Should we send you in with a set of studded leather in case you need to ask for a timeout?
Have a safe word. Abracadabra.
We don't know the environment. For all we know, she is simply trying to rattle us, and it would be foolish to alter our defenses based on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't let her play into your head.
That's a good point.
Also, I've got a little gift that I'm gonna send you and HK into the arena with anyway. I think you'll both be fine.
It's a kiss. It's a farewell kiss to you.
Much better from Cole than from Alexi.
It's gonna be like the Godfather, though.
I do not have a fiendish STD.
I knew it was you, Fredo. I knew it was
I
you.
knew it was you, Jew.
Moving things along, our runner returns. He apologized. He was only able to get one of the stored spell haste. And the animated thing is, no one has that. At least he could find. Like, he thinks he can get someone in a month, but he can't get it like in this time frame.
Was that? And you said the animated shield or the animating armor I asked for the last time?
Both. And Manny and I is just, it's too much is too soon.
Okay.
But he can
Right.
get you one stored haste spell. It's in a
That's
nice
a-
little container thing. Looks like a little flashbang grenade.
So it looks like one of us can be hasted.
If Drew takes it, it's actually written on a headband, and he ties the headband on, and then he has
And
it.
he was also able to cure one more greater healing potion. No, I mean superior. We'll do a superior healing potion.
I would say that you take it, HK. You have more abilities to strike,
Okay.
so it would be much better used under your skill set.
Okay. So you
All
have
right.
those
So I'll take the haste ring, and you take the extra healing potion.
guys. All right. If there's nothing else, you guys ready to go into combat?
Okay.
I
So
think we are. As we were kind of breaking up from that discussion and moving on, I will, during one of our rounds, suggest to Jude if things are dire enough, you do have your ring.
couple things
Actually-
I want to do just before I send them off into the arena, though.
No, didn't we all give up rings?
We didn't give them up. We still have them. We took them all. We took them off.
You can put it on.
So
I was just about to say you should wear your rings.
really quick, Ben, just in case you want to alter your decision on the spell storing item. Once it's in the item, it can be used a number of times equal to the artificer's intelligence bonus. And to do one of that size, they'd have to be, I don't know if they'd probably have a good.
Now this is definitely designed one shot only, kind of like a.
Okay, one shot. Got you.
Like
Thank
a
you.
Juice. It's like a little video game boost.
Pulaski, I
a
know
mushroom.
that you're suggesting this because of the circumstances, but I do wish to also honor our friendship and the trials and tribulations we have gone through. Do you truly stand by the fact that wearing the rings is what we should do?
I've seen Zin fight. He's incredibly fast. He's incredibly mobile. Even toying with his enemies, he was impressive.
I want a Wonder Twins ring.
Too bad,
The-
Cole.
The mission that we took on as the company of the White Flame remains our mission. And in this, the symbol of your company should stand and aid you.
Then so
So
it shall
yes.
be, my friend.
I believe you should wear your rings.
Alusky's feeling a little devilish anyway.
Tell us more of what you saw with him fighting. Well, who was
He
his
was incredibly
opponent?
skilled. He was toying with his opponents.
Was he fighting multiple people?
Multiple people, but thugs. No one with a name that anybody really claimed was any decent.
That's fine.
But he cut them down remorselessly, without hesitation, and with utmost skill. I could tell. Oh well, he certainly uses two weapons at once. Lightly armored, no shield. I would say that in sheer speed, he would double up. their elven nature and elven agility that is so renowned around the world.
All right, Hartmore arrives. Are we ready, Zindri?
Does it matter if we're not?
Ben,
I'm talking to you. Yes.
I am going to put on the ring
Okay.
and strap the shield to my back.
Okay. All right. She leads you
I'm
guys
gonna
down
head
the
to
hall.
the
Before
the area where they're gonna go into the arena, so that I can do some stuff before they head in.
What was that?
I'm gonna head to the area where they go into the arena, so I can do some stuff before they go in.
You can only get to the door. Then it's no entrance until Hartmore's there.
Okay. So just let me know when. Are they going in now?
They're walking towards it.
All right. So as soon as we get to the door, I'm going to cast Death Ward on HK.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Freedom of Movement on Jew.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Gift of Alacrity on HK.
Okay. So.
Okay. And what?
I'm
Slowly, let me know what each of those things do so I can incorporate that.
So Gift of Alacrity gives you an extra D8 for your initiative roll. And then Death Ward. As I touch you, the first time you would drop to 0 hit points as a result of taking damage, you instead drop to 1 hit point, and then the spell ends. And if the spell is still in effect when you are subjected to an effect that would kill you instantly without dealing damage, that effect is instead negated against the target, and the spell ends. So you can't be instant killed, and if you were to go unconscious, you instead go to 1 hit point.
Anybody else?
And
Zidrud
then,
will also bless them. Only lasts a minute. But
do you remember what Freedom of Movement does, Jew?
Yeah, I'm good. I just pulled it up.
Cool.
I didn't remember. I Googled it.
And what does bless do?
D4 to your saves on attack rolls.
extra D4 on attack and saves.
And then I will go up to each of them, Jew and then HK, and I will do like the Italian, Roman kiss on the cheek. For those about to or die, we salute you. And when I get to HK, in that I will cast True Sight on HK.
You cast True Sight on HK?
Yep.
Sweet. HK, I'm going to send you a message.
Okay.
You probably see
Alexei
Heartmore
doesn't
as she
look right
really
to you.
is.
Or True Seeing, excuse me. Not True Sight, but True Seeing. And that lasts for an hour, no concentration.
Okay. And there was another one that you cast, Jeremy. What was that?
I told you the two that I cast on you.
I think I missed the details. I got the Death Ward one. I missed the other one.
Oh, Gift of Alacrity gives you an extra D8 on your initiative roll.
Got it.
I figure you have a good ability to set up Jew to do a lot of damage, so.
Yep.
Okay. Might have to act on that a little bit later, but that's just what you see.
All right, give me 1 second here.
The door's open.
Okay.
You walk in. Another portal is at the end. And she goes, "Well, champions, it is your time."
It is.
Good luck, boys.
Time to shine, baby.
All right.
May the blessings of the Raven Queen be upon you and see you through this battle.
You two go in. So Jew and HK are the ones that go in.
Okay. Ben, for this battle with the ring on, my AC is 25.
Cool.
And inspiration is typically for one adventure because we're an ongoing campaign, and I got that during the last one. Do I still maintain that
Yes.
that inspiration? Okay.
Yeah. I always want you to hold on to inspiration.
I have a feeling this is the fight where that's going to get burnt at some point.
With the way you roll, Lee, yes, indeed.
Yep. Yeah, and Jude, do not let me forget Indomitable. 'Cause I am confident I may need a save here at some point.
Noted. I will try to help remind you.
Oh, look at this.
As you enter in, basically what you're seeing is you just walk in and you're on this dais of earth that is just floating amongst the sky. This thing below you can see there's some type of energy, some clouds. It is bottomless. You don't see anything to land on, nothing like that. There are a bit of chains and stuff that are around. Zin stands in a platform from you, a good 15 feet away. Well, the jump would be about 15 feet away. I need you two to roll initiative.
Let's get it.
I'm ready to go.
You need to add a D8 to that, Lee.
Yes, I do. I'm rolling that D8 right now.
Okay.
That's going to be a 20.
All right. All right. Jew, you have the start. He is standing there. Would you like to immediately go after him, or would you want to start the monologue?
Let's start the monologue.
All right. What would you like to say? What would you like to do in this?
Zin, I hear you are one of the greatest warriors to ever walk the lands. I welcome you, and I thank you for the honor of this fight.
He looks at you and goes, "Many have stood before me. All have fallen."
Point of order, not true.
He can't hear you, Oleski.
I think the same could be said for the two of us. I'm sure you've been following our progress through the arena.
You're right. But the way things are marked now, Jew the Wu Xian is not meant for you. I just want him. As he points to Hephaestus.
Go ahead.
No, it's not my turn. This is on your initiative. You got it. I bit my tongue, literally and figuratively.
So, I must ask you then, Zin. Obviously, you either requested this fight or had someone request this fight on your behalf, why would you allow them to let me into the arena if you just want to fight HK one-on-one?
I don't care what they have designs. I just came here to sharpen my skills. For the God War, of course. That's what we're all here for. You haven't claimed it, but he has what I want.
With that, I will. What do I want to do here?
I won't mind if you jump. That is into the void of darkness, which looks appear to be, oddly enough, space, whatever you can conceive of that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of trying to jump in. So
So you want
I'm
to
going to
wait?
hold.
Hold your action? Cool.
Yeah, I'm going to hold action.
He will use one of his legendary actions, and where you stand, HK and Ju, turns into complete blackness. You don't see where he is now.
Does my true sight help me with that?
Does True Sight help?
Oh
you?
yeah, see through all.
Yes.
Oh yeah, see through all magical
Now
darkness.
you
Oh.
see him there, but Jude cannot see now. So he's still there.
HK, you'll have to talk to me.
I'm here.
It is your
Let
turn.
me know. Let me know where he is, and I will go off of your movements as we practice.
Stand your ground. I will draw both Lawbringer and I will bring out Bringer of Law. You have faced Greystokes before me. You have faced these storied weapons before. What you have never faced before is the culmination of the Greystoke legacy and these weapons in one moment, side by side with a companion from which he will not be parted this day. You must know now, you've come to this point in your life. And this is where you get to decide what happens.
You don't know
You don't
what
ha-
you're playing.
you don't have-
Knight.
You don't have to die today.
I already died, HK. We were
But you
brought
will
here from
lose.
Hades. He brought us into this whole ploy. This is all about coming together for the war. Champions of old to the champions of new. You think I'm afraid? I'm already dead. And now you just gotta join me.
I'm not interested in your fear. I'm interested in your capitulation. That's 15 feet.
Yeah.
I'm going to run and make the jump and make the attack.
To go across?
Yep.
Okay, roll.
And that is an athletics.
Yes. DC is 15.
That's a 21.
Alright, you make the jump.
And I will attack, coming in first with Lawbringer. Straight through, my friend. Yours is the first blow of justice. It's going to be a 27 to hit.
He uses a reaction and he parries the attack.
Actually, I'm sorry, not 27. That is a 27 plus 4. That's a 31 to hit.
Oh, 31. Okay, so he doesn't do that. So you hit.
That is going to be 12 points of damage.
Okay.
I'm going to swing again. $36 to hit.
That hits.
Jesus Christ.
That's 14 damage.
Okay.
And I'm going to rotate to the other side of him, so I'm behind him as I'm attacking.
Okay.
And I apologize, I rolled the damage before I rolled the actual third attack. That's going to be a 28 to hit.
28 will hit.
And so that was let's see. Damage there. 16 to damage.
Okay.
And then with that, I'm going to put on one of my features, my superiority die. Give me 1 second. That's going to be a disarming attack, so I get to add another D8 to that one.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I rolled D10, so let me amend that statement. He takes 10, and he's got an opposed, I believe it's an opposed strength. He's got a strength save versus DC 17.
Okay.
Or he drops his weapon.
The weapon hits the ground.
And then I'm going to come in with Bringer of Law for my offhand attack. That's going to be a 31.
Hit.
And as I drive this attack in for 10 damage, I say, this is a fight you cannot win. And with my item interaction, I'm going to kick that blade off into space.
You don't have an item there, that would be an actual skill. So.
No,
You're not a rogue. That would be a free kind of.
No, item interaction is just you get to pick up something or manipulate something or do something with an object. Since the blade's on the ground, I figure it's an object.
Okay, I'll give you a dex pose off on.
So just a straight up dex roll?
Sure.
Yeah. 5.
Okay, you try to kick, but he puts his leg out to. You end up kicking him and not doing much to his shin
Okay.
bones.
And then I'd like to action search. And we're going to come again. 3 with Lawbringer and 1 with Bringer of Law.
Yep, go for it.
You won't get another bonus action for the offhand.
That is correct. Oh, that's correct. So that's a 36.
Yep, you hit.
Lawbringer. And that one is 13.
Okay.
That's going to be a 31.
Hit.
That's a 15. And that's a 33.
Yep.
And that's 15.
Okay.
And
He's
then I'm
looking
going to
pretty bad.
shout out. Say again?
He's looking pretty bad.
Then I'm going to shout out to Jew. I know how many steps I had to take. Jew's a little shorter than me. So I assume like a half step more than I took. and then the jump. So I'm going to shout it out and basically tack on extra feet. Jew, you've got a 20-foot jump, 3 steps and go.
Can I react off of his attack, or am I still holding until?
You're assuming that you're waiting for him to kind of come to you, and it's now black. So if you were to jump, you would be doing it at a disadvantage.
Okay. I'm gonna go for it.
Well struck, HK. Zindred says in the observation room.
Okay, but you're only able to move. You're not actually able to attack. You don't get a full action on a hold action. So it's not a full
Actually,
round.
Zindred can't see what he's doing. What's going on?
Okay. If I can't attack, then I'll wait.
Yeah.
We don't have an observation window this time?
Yeah.
You-
So
you do, but-
I'll.
We do, but it's black.
Zin's on a bubble of black. This one.
But I was cheering HK with how
Yeah.
well he hit.
Yeah. He's
I was just late.
all right.
You can't see that though.
You can see
So-
you can see those guys. HK. And
HK's not in the black.
they're
He
not
jumped
marked.
off onto the other pillar.
He jumped him in here.
Oh, I thought the black covered everything. Okay.
Nope, it was just that area there.
Yeah. So if I can't move and attack off of that, then I'm just gonna hold.
Okay. With a legendary action, he tried to stab at you, but you were able to deflect his attack. And then it is his go. He quickly does an action and scoops up the blade on the ground. He uses his bonus action to move up a pillar. He's up here now.
Does that provoke?
Nope, he basically misty stepped.
Okay. Got it.
Wow, these are the awfulest dice in the world for this thing. I feel like I'm rolling like Lee.
We're okay with that.
What is your armor class right now, Lee?
25.
Okay, so what happens is he's up there and he sticks his hands out to where he is. So right now, let me get a little bit more rolls in. Wow, there's another bad roll. Oh shit, that one's really nice. Somehow or another, the blades disappear from where he is. And they appear pretty much kind of near where your shoulders are and drop
damn it.
into your blade, into your sides.
God damn it.
I wonder where I got those ones from.
I knew we were going to pay for this, Glenn.
Hey, I didn't come up with those.
It's not my
Yeah.
fault. He goes,
I will be
Right now
shocked.
you was reaping what you sow.
was it him?
No, was
Yeah,
that
that was
that you or Josh that came
No,
up
that
with
was
those?
that was me.
Okay.
You receive the first hit gives you 20 force damage.
All right.
I got a quick question on my my hold action. Can I use it to listen and learn his movement and his sounds and his actions?
For what purpose?
I'm sitting in a shroud of darkness, so I can't see. So I'm basically trying to hear where he's going and use
Sure.
that sense.
Sure, go ahead and you give me a perception roll at disadvantage then. You will now receive another 25 from the one that kind of slipped from your neck armor into that.
Yeah, both are 12, so 15.
You think
right.
he isn't where he was before, you know that. And he's somewhere you think off to your right, but you're not sure from where.
Okay, I'm basically just I'm trying to learn the sounds of his feet when they're on the ground, his movements, what his weapons sound like when they're slicing through the air,
And Lee,
the sounds of combat.
you will also now suffer disadvantage on all your attacks in this next turn coming up.
I will.
He will or I will.
You will.
Okay.
He just hit you with a slash repeat.
All right.
You said your armor class is what again? 20,
25.
25. Okay. He is also going to action surge. And you are lucky. This dice rolling is in your blessings. The gods are favoring.
because we are destined to win this fight.
You are destined to win this fight, but you are here again. You will take another 15 slashing force damage to you.
All right.
All right, Jew, you are in darkness. He's somewhere off to the right. And you're on a disc that you know is completely in the darkness, and the rest goes into the darkness of space below. You're muted.
Yeah. So if I have a sense that he's off to the right, then I know from the initial walk-in that he's got height because of the 2 columns. I don't know if I can make that jump and climb, so I will hold action once again.
What are you going to hold to do? Attack when he comes near you?
Yes.
Okay. All right, HK,
Yes.
your turn. Oh wait, before you go, well, he is going to...
I'm going to smile, and I'm going to cast.
Yep.
I'm going to smile, and I'm going to cast invisibility.
Okay.
So I will disappear from his view.
All right.
Wait, that was my move that I set up with Jacob earlier.
And then
Sorry, I had to.
and then I will move basically 5 feet away from where I was, but staying on the same pillar.
Back, forward, left, right, point.
Right to where that chain is. Like, not too close to the edge. I don't want to be easy to push, but yeah.
Okay.
I basically don't want to be in the exact same spot. I'm going to move a little bit, but stay where I'm at. And then I will shout out to Jew. He's no longer on where I told you to move.
Ben, while we're watching, do I perchance feel any connection to where they're at?
No, they're not.
And
You do not.
That's pretty high, the pillar he's on. Is that correct?
Yes.
I'm going to Misty Step, so I'm directly behind him.
You already cast a spell.
Misty Step's a bonus spell,
But it's
and
not a,
invisibility is a...
It's not a cantrip, though. You can do a spell and then a cantrip.
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay, fair enough. All right, in that case, I will stand my ground.
Okay. He's passing up his legendary actions because he can't use the umbral swords through the legendary action parts. So he will now use a bonus action. You see him gain some confidence, some strength. Then he is going to jump down. Liwu and Ju, you may attack.
I hear him land next to me.
You hear him land because he somersaulted. So it's a gush of wind, a good pitter patter on the feet, and you can take a wild swing. But it is in darkness, so you're at disadvantage.
I am going to use inspiration, and I am going to attempt to grapple him.
Okay, so what you can do is rage, and then go reckless. That will offset the disadvantage, so it'll be a straight roll. Your inspiration will give you a re-roll should you fail.
That's the intent.
Okay, then make a roll. First, you gotta strike him.
All right. So it's just a straight roll, right? Is it offset?
Should be
your rage and reckless.
I'll give you a proficiency and your strength bonus. Those all should be added.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not rolling at advantage because that is just
even
negated.
straight. Yeah, you can't see disadvantage, but you're reckless, so you're going to get advantage. That offsets the disadvantage. So straight roll.
All right, so 16.
You didn't get him, so now you'll need an inspiration.
All right, I use the inspiration and unarmed strike roll again. Come on, I can't see. Nope, even worse.
Yeah,
I am not able to see in the darkness.
He is too quick.
You remember your +4 from Bless?
What is your armor class?
D4?
I don't think it would have made a difference with those rolls, but you did add your +4 to your attack, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't.
It's a D4 from Bless.
Oh, D4. Ooh, that's a D4? I didn't roll mine.
You weren't adding D4 the way you were rolling. I thought it was pretty sure you were adding what that.
No, I did not add the D4.
You couldn't get him at that.
But I would say even the first one would have been a 20 and still would have missed.
He will attack you at disadvantage because of the displacer cloak. He will get a 30 to hit you, so I believe that hits you.
Yes. So I've got the ring on, so I'm at a 22 AC rating.
Cool. All right, so he still does hit you. The displacer now goes off.
Yep.
Apparently, I just can't hit Lewanika.
I'd say you hit me pretty hard.
That one missed.
You got a couple off on me.
All right, so he hits you 3 times.
Ow.
And these,
Ow.
So the first one you'll take 13 force damage. Second one you take 13 force damage.
Say 14?
Yes. 13, sorry, 13.
13?
Yes. And 12 on the third one. So 13, 13, 12.
Ow. Well, he's consistent. That's got that going for him.
And Glenn, he turned invisible, man. What the hell do you want him to do? That is that. So, Jew, you are in darkness still.
So
just reminding HK to mock him.
Probably should ask this.
I got you. So
I probably should have asked this, but even under the grappling, do I still have multiple attacks?
Not on the
to grapple. Grapple.
In your turn, you can try multiple attacks to try to grapple him. On your reaction, like on a readied action, you only have one action that you're able to do.
Gotcha. Okay.
So now it is your full turn. So you may go to town with 3 attacks trying to grab him if you like.
Am I still at disadvantage, or
you are still at disadvantage because you're in the darkness, unless you can get rid of the darkness.
I can't get rid of the darkness. So, yeah, I'm gonna. Well, screw it. I'm gonna draw a sword and attack.
Okay, are you going reckless? That's the only way to make it.
No.
Okay, so these will all be a disadvantage still.
No, because I don't need to give him any other ability to hit me that he already has.
All
right. So at disadvantage, first attack. 22.
Misses.
Second attack. Misses. This is going to be futile. All right. Third attack, I'm going to attempt to grapple again, so I will drop the sword down and go for the grapple. And I'll probably miss that too. 18 plus the D4.
Yeah, he's bobbing and weaving like a butterfly.
19, yeah.
Not
I'm
really.
guessing I need over like a 25 to hit.
Nope, you were
So-
just close. You just missed him by 1. 23
Ah.
is his AC.
Oh, okay. IHK, I am not able to corral this one.
All right. So from my position,
First, he's
is
going
it
to
my?
use a legendary action.
Whoa. Sorry, dude.
And he will hit again at a 24. That knocks down the displacer field. And Ju, you take 14 more force damage. And then it will be HK's turn.
All right. So I will
Ow.
run and make the jump
Okay.
to get directly behind him,
Athletics.
so I can attack.
Athletics 15.
That's a 17,
Okay, you make it. Hitting the earth.
and I want to be directly behind him, so I'm flanking him, so I get advantage on the attack.
Like you need it.
And I will come at him with Lawbringer.
Okay.
That's a 28 before the D4.
Hit.
That's 16, and I'm gonna drop a superiority die, which is going to give me another 4 on the damage.
Okay.
The particular maneuver I'm using is a maneuvering attack. So I add that damage, and then it allows a creature I can see or hear to use their reaction to move up to half its speed. You don't have to move without provoking an attack of opportunity, and they get to make another attack. Jew strikes straight ahead to his left thigh.
Okay, so now Ju,
My right, you're right.
if you go reckless, you would have 2 advantages versus 1 negative. So your next attack would be an advantage if you go reckless. But he will now have advantage on you.
He really wants you to go reckless.
Yeah, he's pushing
Giving
for
him
it.
the options.
Are you sure you don't want to do it?
He's hurting.
Is it my turn?
No,
It
he's
is-
giving you an attack
I'm
amongst
giving-
his
I-
attacks.
I'm giving you an attack using your reaction.
Oh, yeah.
Now
I'll use it.
Are you gonna
I'll
go
go
reckless?
reckless.
All right. So now this attack
Yeah,
is an advantage.
Well,
Do it.
Actually, is it an action or is he giving me an
It's
attack?
your reaction.
Specific.
It's your reaction.
It's a 1 reaction
Can
action.
can I drink a potion with that reaction?
Ooh.
Specifically, this only gives you the opportunity to move and attack.
Okay.
You know what
Then
though?
I will.
No, Rico. As a move, because if you don't move, I'll allow you to use your move action to drink the potion. If that's
Then
your
I will drink
combination.
a potion.
All right.
Yeah.
Good call.
'Cause I'm getting my arse handed to me.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
All right. Potion of healing does.
Okay. While he's doing
2d4
that,
plus 2d4 plus 2.
Levinica, you still have more attacks.
Yes. So that was only my first one.
Correct.
That's a 30 before the
hit.
before the D4.
And like I said, 23 is what you're looking for.
Yeah. That's an 11,
You slash
and
into
I'm
him
going
again.
to. Yeah, and I'm going to throw down another superiority die for a D8,
Okay.
and he's going to have to do it. That D8 is going to give him an extra 6.
Okay.
And this is a strength save to see if he drops his weapon again.
He would fail, but he's going to use a legendary save to keep that.
Got it. And I'm going to tell him, put down your burden as you should put down your blade.
I will not
This is a
lose
fight
to
you
a
will
Grace
not
no
win.
Kankin. I will not lose to you.
And I'm going to go for the third hit.
Okay.
I want your respect.
That's a 24 before the D4.
Roll the D4, please.
Uh-oh.
It's now a 25.
He quickly flashes up that very beautiful weapon and parries aside that third attack.
And
I will not fall to you again, Greystoke. This time you will die to the abyss.
and then Bringer of Law I'll strike with my offhand Bringer of Law. And I'm gonna miss, even with the D4.
Mm-hmm.
And with you know what? I did not roll that or the other one at advantage, by the way.
Oh shit! Yeah. Well, the two attacks. So, you
So-
have two that you can re-roll.
So the Lawbringer with advantage would have been a 31.
Okay, it hits.
Okay. That's 15. And he's going to have to try to not drop that sword again.
He's using the second of his 3 last remaining legendary actions.
Yeah. And that's going to be at a 2 to add on to the damage there. And then the advantage attack with Bringer of Law.
Still misses.
Misses anyway.
Ooh,
Still misses.
So close. So close. He is wounds are the blood is flowing from many and many strikes you've hammered.
And
on.
as my bonus action, I'm going to second win. Because, yeah, I'm hurting like that. And that's going to be a D10.
Actually, you just use your bonus action for the offhand attack.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, you
you're
did,
right.
right.
I can't. Never mind. I guess I'm not.
All right.
Good call. Thank you, Matt.
He will put 2 strikes into each of you this time. So first we'll start with the man he doesn't like right now, Hephaestus. That is 23.
Is he
That's gonna-
fighting as if he can see within this darkness his
Yes.
movement?
So 1 strike will hit you, HK.
All right.
You will take 18 force damage.
Oh, Lord. All right.
You will crit Jew.
Oh God.
I want him to re-roll that crit. I'm gonna cough up my inspiration. Jew's not getting credited right now.
Good
I ain't
call.
letting that go down.
Wait, who'd he crit? Me?
He critted you,
Okay, so
And
that
I
is
said-
not a crit. It will just be.
and I
regular
said,
damage.
"Fuck no."
So inspiration gone. This will just be regular force damage.
Nice.
Still pretty heavy. That's going to still be a 23 points of force damage to you.
Ow.
The second.
You're still up.
That's an excellent question. Then that I have a sudden question, Ben. I apologize. From the control room, is the inspiration mechanic still transferable? I mean, I'm inspired by HK's actions to use my inspiration, possibly. That's why I'm asking.
If you can creative tell me how you would do something to affect the battlefield of people who cannot really hear or see you.
Heard. So no, not really. Fair enough.
Well,
Continue.
no. Remember,
Can anybody
you have-
pass off a movement to me?
You do have Heartmore, so remember, you have been a conduit with her before, so it is just a session of how you manipulate something that I may allow, because you know she can pass energy and spells through before. So if you wish to have a conversation that changes something, then yes. And Jew, he seemed to be too pleased, or somehow that inspiration distracted him on that second swing, that he just completely whiffed on you badly there. With his bonus action, though, he will move up. Boy, this is a bloody fight. Any one of those extra hits could have changed things here. All right, Jew, it is darkness. What are you doing?
Do I know he went up there? And
Give me a
is that jump?
Perception check disadvantage.
Is that jump makeable?
Well, right now you got to see if you're alone. I mean, if he left.
You're gonna jump straight into the pillar.
Zendrid grips the hilt of the sword of the Raven Queen, and her voice sounds off inside of Zhu's head saying, "He's on the pillar behind you."
Give me a perception check reroll. You use your inspiration.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did I? Because message works across any plane of across multiple planes of existence. All I did was use the sword's ability to speak to him. But that's how I'll use my inspiration if I need to.
Nope. I like that. Nope. The message does work through across the planes, and because you can see him, it will still
22.
Still work.
I'm watching the fight from outside. He left the darkness. I'm
So
like, I
he
can't
gave
tell
you
him to
advantage,
duck. I
and
can't
I'm
tell
gonna
him
say,
to.
Good thing, because you would have swung at HK, and Zindrid has allowed you to find out that he went behind you, so you remember the battlefield. But you can't see the pillar very well. You're a bit disorientated. The jump would be still a disadvantage because you're in darkness.
So, what about the fact with the freedom of movement?
What does the spell say?
Target's movement is unaffected by difficult terrain, spells, and other magical effects. Can neither reduce the target's speed nor cause the target to be paralyzed or restrained.
No, you are able to move. It's just you can't see where you're jumping.
You do know, because you haven't moved at all yet, that HK told you 3 steps and jump to the other platform, which would get you out.
Yeah, you know the terrain. That's why you can make the jump. But you just don't know it perfectly. Because it would be like you closing your eyes and saying, and trusting your own body to just jump, knowing that it is impending doom. Should you possibly?
Do I know that HK can see in this with the way his movements and actions have been working?
I think yeah. I don't think you guys have worked together well enough. He's doing fine. He's been calling things out to you, so he seems to be. And I think you would have known that Aleski cast a spell on him of True Sight. I think those words were uttered. So
HK, do you have a movement where I can use you to catapult myself up to that pillar?
On my turn, I could certainly lower and give you a foot up, but that would be on my turn.
Yeah. So if I make the jump, is it disadvantage?
Yes.
Using athletics?
Yes.
I'm gonna go for it.
Okay. This is a high pillar, so this one will be at a 20 to get up to.
Okay. Shit. That changes my thought process.
The other ones across are 15 because they're on the same level. But this is a little higher up. You are armored with a weapon.
Maybe you're good just staying where you are. Not jumping anywhere.
He doesn't have much health, though. That's why he's thinking.
And I mean, even if I take the extra couple of potions I have, it's not really gonna. I'm gonna go for it.
One other thing I'll add is I remember you do have javelins, correct, or thrown weapons. You could chuck something. It's still with reckless. You would still get an even roll.
Do have a javelin? I guess that's
better than nothing. If
all
you
right.
Don't want to take the
yeah. So okay. Well, let's do this. Let me. So what do I got? I got two. All right. So let me drink a potion, and then chuck a javelin.
Okay.
So I will turn and huck a javelin, and I will go reckless.
Okay.
So is that
Even.
straight roll?
Yep, straight roll.
Ben, let me know when I can sneak an action in to the initiative.
And then I got the D4.
Mm-hmm.
So 18.
He whistles by. You don't think you hit.
All right.
Damn, never seen that again.
All right, Alesky, what do you want to do?
It's time
I'm
for a
just,
little seduction. So I will turn to Hartmore and I will step in front of her, give her a very high etiquette type bow, and I will reach out to take her hand. Coincidentally, the one with the ring on it.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Hartmore, your Lord Azariel has come to me and presented me with a gift, and I'm so grateful to have met you and to have had your patronage here as the person handling our situation. Please allow me to thank you, and I'll bend down to lift up her hand and give her a kiss on the back of the hand. And then just before I get to the back of the hand, I will kiss her ring and make sure I'm holding and touching the ring, and I'll cast slow through it.
She doesn't offer her hand back to you. She's not into the grace of what you're doing. In fact, she steps back a little and giggles and goes, "Oh, Alesky, sweet upon sweet. But I could never get in between your three ladies. That would just be very unethical of me and rude. I mean, you are a father now. Please, some control."
Oh,
And with that,
What?
Zen will.
Oh my god, it is the kid from Problem Child wearing a devil suit.
Based on the conversation in Hartmore's office after Alesky's failed attempt, she looks at Firebrand and mumbles out of the corner of her mouth, "Do you want to try that?"
All right, HK, what would you like to do?
I'm glad I didn't hear that. I'd have to take disadvantage from being distracted.
Yeah.
I am going to sheath bringer of law. Drink a potion.
Okay.
Then then throw a javelin.
Okay. And that is going to miss no matter what. Yeah, he's dodging.
And of course that potion. You said there's a superior one.
Yep.
And superior is better than greater. How much does superior give you?
But I think you gave superior to you.
Oh no, correct. So I only have the greater.
You only have the greater. You actually have the haste one. But you've already thrown a javelin.
Yeah, I'm going to take the potion of healing and at this point, yes. So let me remove one of those from my inventory.
Can't remember what those are.
It is a greater potion of healing, 44 plus 4. That's 15.
Cool. Are you done?
Yep. And
Okay.
yes.
All right.
That is my turn.
Zin somersaults down, lands right in front of you. Now, Knight of the Great Oak, it is time.
Sentinel?
He's... Yeah, Sentinel still works on that. You still got one strike. Well, because you're right, because he has mobility, but you still get.
Yeah.
When he
Okay.
Comes, you still get when he comes to you.
Yep. In that case, we're Lawbringer. That's gonna be a 26
with the D4.
It's a 30 with it. Actually, I have to roll the D4 to see what that becomes. Becomes a 29 with the D4.
Okay, you hit.
And 14 damage with Lawbringer. I'm going to drop another superiority die and basically give Jew the attack again. So that superiority die is going to tag on.
Okay. Jew, straight roll.
That's going to that's going to tag on 4 damage from me, and then Jew, you get an attack.
I will attack.
Now, isn't this at advantage because you're flanking?
Yep. Oh yeah, so I said straight roll.
Yep. And then if can he reckless?
You could reckless again.
I will go reckless.
And then gain advantage, right?
You can, yeah.
So you should have been swinging at advantage, I think, like 2 or 3 swings.
Well, he did go reckless a couple times because he was.
He was choosing not to go reckless because he didn't want to risk getting hit.
Because Zin would get reckless.
Right.
He gets advantage on the attack back.
That's
what,
right.
That's what was hitting him. That's how I got hit pretty good before. And landed in that 20.
Get him, Jew.
Just one attack?
One attack, yes. At advantage.
Right? Okay. I am going to stabby with the sword at advantage. I can't see you. A 20 plus
a D4.
The D4. 22.
Just missed.
22.
However, though, with the way the clash, you do bring down hard, but he was still trying to defend you, but the Sentinel feat allowed HK just to slip his weapon in between the ribcage of Zin, and he drops to a knee in front of you, gassed out. You have won the combat.
I look at him and I say, "Give up your burden."
Final blow.
Give up your burden now. This is no longer a fight you can win.
With that, swords on the ground. He reaches and his hand seems to slip through his chest. And he pulls out what looks to be some bright reddish crystal.
Orange. No, green. Was it envy? Green was envy.
Jew?
Zin, you are a great warrior. Don't let anybody ever tell you otherwise. You have fought valiantly, as you have always fought valiantly. But I think you recognize something that we all recognize. And that's how great HK truly is, whether it's on a battlefield or in an arena. He is one that's certainly not easy to match and impossible to defeat. I think that's something we all can be envious of. And with that, I will take it from him.
Okay. With that, you feel the power rush into you. The energy pours into your body.
Woo!
As he's bleeding, blood coming from his ears, his mouth, dozens and dozens of hard hits from Hephaestus. He exhales Ju the Wuxia. Yes, he's a great warrior, but he had a good friend. And that's what you all are, though, which you'll understand now that you have what I had. You're just the sidekick, the friend, the guy that just helps the great hero to his task. You'll realize that, and it'll burn as he serves Azarian, as he has all the glory, as he makes the kingdoms burden well. Hartmore does open up the rift. You're champions. You may go.
I will say one last thing, Zin. I understand what you have said, and I acknowledge that. And as the saying goes, to be the man, you gotta beat the man.
Woo!
And I'll walk into the rift.
Since Hartmore opened the portal, may Zendred step through?
Yes.
Zendred steps through the open portal and walks directly up to the kneeling Zen. Uses her lay on hands ability to heal him.
Okay.
And says,
Bon Jovi plays in the background. Lay your hands on me.
the drow of this world are changing. The old ways are done. If there's room in your heart to learn to live among them, there would definitely be a place for you among my people and in my house. Particularly for a warrior so great as you.
You want someone so linked to all of this? Paladin of the Raven Queen?
Look at what all of this is doing to my companions. Do you think I will be unchanged by the time it is over? I have to believe that we'll have the ability to come back from this.
You
So,
said
I'm asking you to prove me right and come back from it.
you said, Zin, that I was the great hero and they were my sidekicks. That's not correct. I am a soldier, a warrior with a cause. That is the misunderstanding you've always had about Greystokes who've come before me. They didn't fancy themselves the hero. That is the burden others put upon them. They were trying to do what they felt was right. There is redemption for every failure. My Lady Zindred, my companion, my friend, my tutor, and my teacher, and my mentor in ways beyond the means that I have allow me to grow. There is redemption for you. A greater challenge than you've ever fought, and a greater challenge than defeating even myself, comes in changing the ways that were to the ways that will become. Will you choose to rise to that challenge?
As I walk up, I heal HK for 24 and I heal Ju for 23.
Bless your soul, because he had me on the frickin' ropes.
He looks to you and goes, to be back among my people, to live again as a great hero of them.
Sure.
And
It
to
will be
call,
up to your actions.
more importantly, would you call us allies and eventually friends? He will see Lawbringer, and he will reach out a hand in friendship.
He kind of brushes your hands away, but he looks to Zindred. I will serve your house. I will be among my people again. I will be great for you. I accept.
I'm honored. Keep in mind, there will be things that are that may be tough to accept. Again, this society is changing. We are freeing ourselves from the oppression that we have always been under the yoke of by embracing the Raven Queen. If you'd like, actually, it's not really going to be an if you'd like. As I send you to my family, I will first send you to some compatriots of mine, among them are paladins of my order, that can teach you more of the way our society is changing before you're escorted all the way back to the Underdark.
So, Raven Queen conversion camp.
And I would appreciate it if you would keep them and their ward, which is HK's wife, with your life while you're there.
Well, you're gonna send him to the Assyrian. Is he? Where's his? To the Greystone?
I don't want to send him down to the Drow underworld without me there to watch him.
You have spoken to me with class and elegance. I will serve. My weapons are your weapons.
Your weapons are your own. Stand and be your own man. Or work with my house.
I do enjoy two wheels, but I can get others. I present you with one of my own, so you know that I will serve you. I am your knight. And now you have a weapon that you're familiar with, since you wrote it.
I have what weapon?
You have one of the umbral force weapons of the Shadowkai.
Ah. Well, I'll have to give that to somebody.
Like I said, a weapon of your own making. Thank you, Tabletop Journeys.
Much appreciated.
Well, when I read it, I was like, "This is going to be perfect for Zin. I have to put it in there."
It got me down to 26 hit points out of 104.
Well,
I was on the daggum rope.
You were
fine.
I knew you had to chase him. If I had to go straight forward to you guys, it was going to be a much more better fight for you guys and much worse for him. But him able to move around and do this little pokey poke thing was way something cool for you to experience.
The damn darkness thing is killing me. That's 2 fights in a row now.
Well, one of the things we can look for next. No, that doesn't help in a magical darkness.
No, he needs something that gives him.
Yeah, we need
Devil Sight or True Sight.
Yep. As Zindrid extends her hand to help him up after he hands her a sword, does he take it?
Yes.
She helps him to his feet, leads him back through the portal, and on her way through, glances briefly at Hartmore and says, "I'll accept my wager to appear in my vault."
Oh, Gringotts.
And HK turns, face the crowd. Defeat can breed victory if one's mind is open. This is the true way of the warrior.
There's no crowd.
And then he walks out.
They are on TV, though. It's TV.
But he can't see the camera, so he just kind of turns as he speaks.
They pipe in cheering. They pipe in cheering, so it kind of tricks you.
Yeah.
It's kind of like pandemic football, you know.
Yeah. There's 3 guys out there, but it sounds.
They were
like
doing
10,000.
that for the wrestling too. Empty arenas, but they're all blowing all the noise.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna slap HK on the butt and say, "See, you did fine. Did you even have to ward off death?"
No.
See, fantastic fight. You and Jew, the woo shout. Love your name.
Is he trying to be your agent? Is he the mouth of the
mouth of the south? He's hired.
Let me tell you something, HK.
No, let me tell you something.
This was our created board for all that.
That was a really hot 3D battle map you built.
That was awesome, dude.
That is sexy as hell.
One of the real reasons
I was
why I stayed.
Jumps
I
are all
use,
well.
Vorpal board.
Can I ask an after the fact question?
Can you turn that camera back on?
Yeah, well, it was just
my wife wanted to see it when I said that.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I gotta ask an after the fact question.
Planetoid things in space.
Had one of us fell into the void.
Thanks, Ben.
What would have happened?
I would have given you a
party member.
grasp the side. Hold on. You would have had 2 rolls, but if you fell, you were gone.
There's only one reason.
This was like Spelljammer
only one
space.
reason.
You're in a little area of just floating items, but it was basically a
Yeah.
nebula. So I'm gonna say would die, but more or less you're gone unless something would be able to track you, which would probably be a hard bargain deal.
He
That's a
just
good thing
wants
that I
you
missed
to-
a couple of my grapples in.
He just wanted you to grab the edge so Zin could step on your fingers.
Oh, you could have moments like that, but it was a good chance.
No,
Um,
that last
I will say this: it really made me sad that I had long ago switched out the push maneuver, because with all those maneuvers, I could have like as many times as I was hitting him, I could have shoved him 5-10 feet a shot.
and disarm.
But then we'd be trying to
I
find
failed.
greed in space.
I failed 3 times. Remember, I took
MG.
one and then had to do legendary
Right,
saves
MG.
for the other 2. All right, because we put in a pretty good 3 hours already, you guys will be able to get back to the barracks. The biggest thing right now for most of it will be what you guys are kind of deciding where
Long
to
rest.
go next. So I can answer a bunch of questions, but I can also, as your
Oof.
DM, prepare for stuff.
Well, I have a suggestion of where we should go next / request to our fearless leader.
Who's our fearless leader?
Who has
'Cause-
greed?
It's like
Greed is-
Firebrand, HK, and Zindred are all.
Firebrand is technically our group's leader.
Firebrand is the leader. Zindred's been posing in that role while we're in this arena because that's what they assumed based on her nobility.
And what's
So-
this
And
pride?
I only handle the. I'm just a tactical leader when we're in a combat situation. Think of me as the NCO.
We all have our
What's-
roles.
What's this
And
thing?
I'm
that-
apparently the
Yeah,
treasurer now. I'm the coin purse.
Well, apparently Arturo is somewhere around this area of Fangsport. Not in Fangsport, but somewhere around it. Also, I believe that's where Ju wants to talk about is
Ripper
Jack.
Jack.
Is also.
Oh, yeah.
in the city nearby.
Forgot about.
We have a little unfinished business before the next.
You're still seeking Kiziata, who has Wrath, the Grey Drake, who has Greed, and Benro, the Beholder, who has Gluttony.
Not from Zindred, but from her player. Particularly with the way the wagering has gone and the money has increased.
Oh, yes.
And I've been thinking about the sends. Greed is kind of the way that I was angling, but obviously. So she's
Yeah.
kind of peeks up a little bit about that one. Yeah.
So, is the group collecting sins? Cole is left in the dark here
Oh, yeah,
about
this
this
is all new to
sin
you,
thing.
so
Yeah, I gotta catch them all, kind of like
gotta
Pokemon.
catch 'em all.
Yes, unfortunately, you joined us after Pride was already taken.
There's always wrath.
Glenn, if you didn't have inspiration, you get it again.
It's the first time I use my inspiration, I think.
Yeah, I still have one. I never get to use it.
I wish I thought about being
Unsuccessfully,
able to
but-
communicate with y'all on the battlefield with the sword before today.
I'm always open to roleplay to maneuver. I'm not a rule stickler. I'm a storyteller. So
Right, no, absolutely. I just hadn't thought of it. And
Yeah.
then I'm looking like, what can
It
I do? How
happens.
could I interfere? And I'm like, does message work that far? Oh yeah, it does. Look at
that's
that.
cool. Yeah. All right.
So we are off to track.
Arturo,
Ripperjack?
right?
Can we do the Ripperjack thing first?
Well, it's probably in your best interest to find Ripperjack because you're gonna change.
Yeah,
I think that we
I'm on
need
a
to get that
timeline.
addressed before all of us become infected in the middle of the night when he wakes up Harry.
Well, no,
Harry
HK and Alexi have formulated ways of making sure that doesn't happen.
Wait,
We kind
Ripperjack?
of know the
Who's
timing
that?
of it. He is one of the. I forget what he does around here. I have to-
It passes out like a ropey. That's his job.
I thought we were just looking to kill this elf here, or hurt this elf, and then I thought we were moving
just
on.
Here, I thought you were
to
just
hunt-
here to protect Firebrand.
I thought we were hunting the.
Sin?
The Fey guys.
You are the fair guys.
The Knights of Nine.
Yes. Yes, them.
Cole, you have been with us long enough now to... She glances at Firebrand. To see if he approves of Zender telling Cole more.
Yeah.
Okay, so a nod or something. In order to stop the coming calamity, or alter it, so to speak, in the crossing over, we have to wrest these sins of power from Hades' lieutenants.
I don't believe lieutenants is the right word.
It is the closest I could come up with, but you are correct, Oleski.
Okay. So we're hunting down a god's apostles?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Or at least his pawns. Not all of them seem to be willing. They are bound by the sins they carry.
And the sins they carry give them power or link them directly to their god?
Having never held one of the sins, I have no idea. She looks at the three who do and say, would you care to describe the sensation?
As we understand it, Hades is using these 7 sins bound to 7 people of legend and power under silk to bind her power to this realm. We believe by removing these sins from those they are bound to, we cut the strands binding Silk's power.
But if you're taking these powers unto yourselves, how is that cutting the strands? It seems to be
Because we are
continuing the
not
tide.
the legendary figures,
Right.
the legendary powers under Silk.
We're
The binding magic comes from their connection to her world. We are not from her world.
I'm becoming legendary though.
and to be clear, we are effectively removing them from those who are working on Hades' side.
Okay, but he has no ability to grasp them within the people that they're in.
An excellent question.
He can't reach out and touch you.
He's a god of this realm. Of course he can reach out and touch us.
I mean,
It just doesn't occur to him.
a little simpler with you having these sins within.
I've had no such contact or communication with them.
Okay. I'm a little more concerned now that we're dealing with a god and things that I've yet to experience.
Perhaps if you had been more interested in what we were actually about than blustering and attempting to impress everyone, you'd have wised up sooner.
Ooh.
Hey, I'm just doing me.
I understand.
So, how many are there?
4
I believe
more.
there are 7 deadly sins.
Okay, so these. Ben, do I know what the deadly sins are in this world?
You know what 7 deadly sins are? Yeah, that's common.
Okay.
And yes, you're getting one now.
Okay, so we've got 3, I think you said.
Correct.
And who are they within? One is within HK.
You just watched Zhu take on his.
That's what happened to
Alex-
Zhu. Okay,
Alexi
got
has
it.
one.
And I was going to simply say the other sin amongst us is lust, and let you figure it out from there.
Oh, yeah. That one makes sense. Okay, got it. All right. Interesting.
Wait, Alexi, did you get all the fancy stuff from you taking yours? Am I gonna get some fancy armor and all that stuff?
Yeah, you.
I mean, I got my robe.
You really
That
want.
was
You're just
that
gonna
was
be
a-
jealous. You're just gonna be jealous of his.
That's the thing. You really want fancy stuff, Jude. It's
I do.
part of what's going on.
That's what I'm asking. That's why I'm asking. I kind of.
You don't get it though. You just get jealous. Everybody else gets it.
Well, he didn't get his right away, so maybe it'll come in time. Maybe you have to just wait a little bit, and it'll.
Nice, well done.
That's got to be what it is. That must be it.
When I kissed my lady and felt her power and grasped it between us in our passion, that's
What kind of story are we
where
telling?
50 Shades of Greystoke.
Huh?
Nice.
Oh, clever.
Oh, please give him an inspiration
He's
for
got
that
inspiration. Do you have inspiration? You gotta go. You got it back.
one.
You got it back. The party has spoken.
Salute, brother.
Our apologies for cutting you off, Oleski. It was too great of an opportunity.
Sorry.
I imagine the time I spent with Mystic is similar to when you kissed the hand of the lady of the spring court.
Okay. Okay. So
Did I hear
so
you
we were
say
after
you and
the
Mystic?
Yes, you were there.
Whoa, HK.
Okay.
Naughty boy.
Forgot his headlamp.
so we were after the elf. What are we after now?
Jack, Ripper Jack.
Yeah, the guy that bit Jew.
That bit you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
the plot does continue to thicken, Cole. The plot
We
does.
have to worry about biters now? What is
Yeah,
this world coming to?
And we
Yeah,
want to
only-
do it before the
Only
next
once a
full moon.
month.
Yeah, we want to do this before the next full moon.
Yes.
Wait, are we talking lycanthropy here?
Yes.
Yep, Jew.
Bless
So
you.
we have to worry about a werewolf too.
Why do you
Yes.
think he keeps sniffing your butt?
The plot does thicken, Zindred. Indeed.
As I said.
Is there anything else we're forgetting? Any more surprises?
Welcome to the group, Cole.
You've never been a part of a
Level of-
dysfunctional group in your life.
Yeah, it's too late to back out now. Because we need you to hold on to gluttony. Or sloth, I don't care.
So randomly over the next day or two, I'm just gonna off and on bug Alexi about getting fancy armor. Who do I need to talk to? What's her name? She got a sister?
Here, you may use this. It's fine elven mail, gifted to me by Zindred's house in the Dark Elven city.
Regifted.
Ooh.
Obviously,
Like
he wants mail.
recycling.
Okay.
It served me well, but I have no need for it now.
All right, so we're going. So more or less, you guys are ready to head out of the guild area of Frog and Slave to seek first Ripperjack and maybe Arturo, as I'm assuming, is how we're going to go about it.
Well, Arturo's like right here in the area, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
he's already
we
in
would
the
have to
city.
leave the area and come back.
Well, both of
'Cause-
these are in the Banksport area. You don't know exactly
Yeah.
within city
They're
or
both
whatever,
here.
but it's in this part of the region of Spero.
Yeah. So
That's
I
what
mean,
I'm
yeah,
gonna-
definitely. Since we're here, why not, right?
Okay, that's what I'm gonna go. I'm gonna move to design things on. First thing, we hit a milestone, so everyone's gonna level up,
Woohoo!
and then I am hoping maybe the 24th or the 31st for any. What would work for you guys?
Glenn, do you have the calendar up?
Looking at it now.
I mean, Sundays were generally pretty clear anyway, but
Yeah, that's. I'm
24th
assuming
is
it
an
might be
actual
nicer.
play option date, but we haven't picked that yet.
The only one I can't.
we're
Both of them
usually
are.
later. We're later than that anyway. But
Yeah. Yeah, that's no. We don't have Tabletop Journeys nor I have anything on either of those days. I can do either one.
So let's do the 24th.
What?
Then.
We're looking at
Same time, 6 p.m. So we can try to get good early times out.
Oof. But if you have the opportunity to remind me tomorrowly, Winika, I need to figure out when, and then have you help me figure out how to do the Patreon send out for dates and stuff.
Yep.
All right.
So I'm running the adventure I ran last night. It was a
Yep.
playtest for them.
okay. Give me a second. Let me put this up here.